Episode 654 of the WCB podcast. Doug made it for another round. Good to see you, Doug.
Yes,
I'm glad you're here.
Glad you're back.
Eric's here.
I'm here.
I'm here. My name's Kurt. Welcome. Bucky's here co-hosting.
Hey, what's up?
He's back.
And we're talking Jacob from the Victory Drive podcast, Mr. Jacob Johnson here in studio.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for having me, Kurt, boys.
What do you do?
Well, in real life or?
In real life? Sorry.
Oh, Jesus. What the fuck? So I'm the host of Victory Drive podcast, and we talk about guns and hunting and all that good stuff. Yeah, I don't know. It's great
Interesting.
Yeah,
Why guns?
Well, because we're in America.
Good. Okay.
You know, America.
That was good.
That's pretty about it.
Get some history here.
And you're not a felon, right?
Yeah, right. And not a felon. I can shoot guns and own them and properly carry them around, I guess. So, no, I grew up a gun guy. My dad was a big gun guy. So, just grew up in that world more, you know. So, I grew up around guns. I think I started shooting guns when I was like, I don't know, 11 or 12 or something like that. Just shooting blackbirds around the house and targets and beer cans and beer bottles and other shit I probably shouldn't be shooting, but I lived out in an acreage, so had a good time doing that. And yeah, I don't know. I just, for some reason, I've always liked guns. Like I always kind of just enjoyed shooting them and shit. So then I joined the Army and shot more guns. Then then
Worked out. So you host the Victory Drive podcast, which is a WCB umbrella network type podcast.
Yeah.
And first of all, I want to say you're doing a really great job.
Fantastic.
Killing it,
dude.
brother.
You're
Cheers.
70 as the time of recording. Cheers to
yeah,
Victory Drive.
Hey, cheers,
Jacob and
guys.
Ashley.
You the man.
You guys are,
And Ashley.
are killing it.
Y'all make me fucking cry, dude.
You guys are,
I'll cry with you.
as at time of recording this, you're 77 something episodes, right?
Yep.
So that's awesome. It's putting in work every week.
Yeah, I'm doing 2 a week now. So I'm doing the regular show with a guest and stuff, and kind of like most of our podcasts in like working class, I don't have a panel of co-hosts with me, so it's all going to be pretty much one-on-ones besides the random like group podcasts and stuff. But started doing a solo series, and that's been going over really well too.
Big fan.
Actually, yeah, a lot of people. I've been getting a lot of really good feedback from that. So
Kind of break down what the solo series is.
yeah, so it's really just kind of whatever. The biggest reason why is because there's so much shit going on in the gun world, whether it's like, current event stuff, there's always, political stuff going on. And, there's a lot of things happening that I wanted like, I guess a show where I can be more nimble and move around and like put something out right away, that it pertains to the current gun climate, I guess. And also in between, I guess, stories like that and stuff, it's like, I've always been interested in like researching stuff. So like doing, caliber reviews or whatever you want to call them, or
Breakdowns.
breakdowns, stuff like that, or gun breakdowns, and basically just whatever I kind of feel like talking about, I guess. But it's just me talking, droning on about shit. I try to keep it between like 15 to 30 minutes, so keep it a little bit shorter.
Yeah.
So hopefully I can figure something out to talk about. It hasn't been too hard, so that's been good, but
There's always a lot of stuff going on in the gun world, so I don't think you'll overrun.
I'd say, you're pretty knowledgeable, so like 15 minutes is nothing to like talk about.
I mean, I can talk about shits for 15 minutes.
Oh, dude, we talk about shit for 3 hours.
God dang, dude.
We get a lot of good feedback from Victory Drive. Grizzly is a common partner of ours, but the title sponsor of Victory Drive, which is awesome.
Yeah. God bless those dudes. They rule.
Yeah, which
They're the best.
I would like to talk about some of our partners real quick because we share a lot of the same partners before we go any further. But yeah, Grizzly is one of those. Elite Archery is obviously our title sponsor. But yeah, Grizzly really showed up for you and us and all that. They kind of fit. Grizzly's got like a tactical vibe to them in a way.
Yeah.
Kind of fits Victory Drive style.
Well, and early. Like, I think when they come on, fucking like
instantly.
episode 2, it's like, I think is like right away. They were very interested, and like obviously that just goes to show like how much they believe in you guys, because if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be fucking partnered with Grizzly. If I just went out and did it by myself, it's like, so they just believe in what we're doing as a whole, like a lot. So they jumped on immediately. We're like, yeah, we want to be associated with this brand too and everything else. I've talked to Isaac and, well, I guess I didn't talk to Jeremy before Victory Drive, but so like talking with Isaac and stuff like that beforehand. Like they're just awesome dudes. You know, they're from literally right down the road from me, like an hour. So
Yeah, and they partner with our other show, which we need to get them guys in here, Tackling Tacos on Kenai, which is more of like a fishing marketed type brand of coolers and soft goods and stuff like that. So shout out to Grizzly on that, you know. But we even though they might not be partners of Victory Drive, I know you use most of the stuff that we're partnered with, like Elite. You have an Elite bow.
Yeah.
What bow are you shooting? Because you're a giant fucker.
So
You want it big boy?
With all due respect.
yeah, well, appreciate it, I guess.
All
Worked
right.
hard to get this tall, but
Well,
I don't know. Fuck, what is it? I can't remember what it's called now. The new one.
Terrain?
No,
No,
I
you
did
have
have
a new
a
one.
I did have a terrain. I just sold that not too long ago, but
The ethos?
yeah, it's Ethos. Yeah, because I was talking to Larry McCoy at ATA, and we were just talking about like drawing something, and you come out with like a 32-inch long bow, you know, and he's like, well, you know, if you put it on the 90% let off with Ethos, it'll get out there. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, sick. So I got one of them, and I haven't shot it yet, but I need to. But
Yeah, we're all behind.
busy
Thanks.
doing
yeah,
other
you've been
things,
around.
dude. Yeah.
Can we get to some of this later in the episode?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely, dude.
Okay.
For sure.
But Elite, Big Time, obviously, we've been huge fans of Big Time for a long time. I just put my borderline in a couple weeks ago. Code WCB 2024. Thank you, everyone who jumped on the sale we were doing in May.
Thank you.
He's got flat rate shipping on pallets. What are you planting in the fall? I think I'm going peas and tubers. I think.
I might go the old fashioned buck brunch.
It never fails.
Never fails.
I think
you
I
all
might
go
do that
around.
too.
Buck, you got borderline to put in yet, but
I got borderline to put in. I'm doing peas and tubers, and then I'm doing a half of like an extra. I overseed, but I'm doing like a half of buck brunch in each one.
oh, cool,
plot.
cool.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
a little bit, just a little bit to sprinkle in, just to boost that the brassicas and bulbs and stuff up a little bit. I mean, last year I've never had deer actually dig up my food plot in this one area. I've never had a food plot be successful. And last year they just wiped it out.
Just piss pounded it.
First time I've ever used Big Time there.
Wow, good.
I mean, I was super impressed, and I put videos and stuff on, and I went to check it out like in January, I think it was. Yeah, I think it was in January. Drove out there in my Ranger and I got out of the Ranger. I'm looking at the bulbs and found an antler shed.
No shit.
Oh,
I
nice.
was like, well, this
Hey,
Hey,
still counts. It's one.
Yep.
what do you put anything for Big Time this year?
Actually, this is my first time. I haven't really done shit, but my buddy Matt Moon, he's I guess turned in like the farm manager for this property that we just got permission on,
Yeah.
that they're allowing us to put food plots in. I just been too busy, but God bless that guy. He's been working his fucking dick off and putting in.
He's a frequent voice on Victory Drive.
Yeah, I've had him on a couple times. He's awesome. He's been my best friend since I don't know, forever. So he's awesome, dude.
Thought we were your best friends.
Yeah, well, you weren't
came a
around when I was fucking 10, dude.
We came a little late.
It could have been.
What are you going with, Doug?
I think I'm gonna go buck brunch this time.
Yeah. You're the least food plot guy out of all of us, I feel like.
Yeah, probably.
Which doesn't make any sense because you have access to the most ground.
Well, food plot wise, probably not,
How do you
Judges?
figure?
because it's all beans and corn.
Just put it in the beans, man.
Talk to my
Whatever, Doug. Whatever.
Real
Hey.
quick, I do want to go back because we're putting in some main event and stuff from Big Time, so we're gonna put that in. I think it's in like August though.
big
So,
feed guy though.
Yeah.
Love that feed.
Love the feed.
Huntworth is
So does
also
deer.
a partner of WCB and Victory Drive.
Yeah.
And Huntworth is the shit, first of all. We've literally used it. Shit, I've from Canada to South Africa to Mexico to early season whitetail to late season whitetail.
Utah.
We've used something.
Wyoming.
Yeah, all
All over the place.
Yeah, I wore the shit out of it in Wyoming for bear camp.
It's great
Yeah,
stuff,
it's great.
dude. At a great price. Code WCB15 save you some money. They run a lot of sales around holidays and stuff. Father's Day sale just ended, but they always got something going. They're motivated. They're passionate. They're wanting to put out good gear. They're wanting to put out good, affordable gear with the hunter in mind. They probably take the cake out of all of our partners that reach out for the most feedback.
I do have some feedback for them.
Yeah,
But
And-
but they're very accepting of all the feedback too. It's
Oh yeah,
Well, I always
they
feel-
want the feedback.
guilty, kind of like this is a good thing on Huntworth. Like, oh, that's good, but I'll kind of just deal with all gear. I've kind of just been
Yeah.
that way. Like if I buy name it. You buy a truck, you're like, I don't like that knob there, but it'd be cool.
But I'll deal with it.
Yeah. And then I was kind of like talking to Karen, and Karen was like, and then, it's part of our job to give that feedback. She goes, no, what needs change? We need to know to make changes to continue improving this product. Like, what don't you like? Do you not like the pocket there? What kind of pocket would you like? Where would you like it? How's the fit around the crotch? What does it need to be tighter? Does it need to be looser? It's feedback. We need feedback. How do we make our product better if you're not critiquing us? Which is a cool thing, because we've worked with other companies in the past where you're like hesitant to say stuff, and maybe that's where the hesitancy comes from. Not that it's a bad product, but if you're like, hey, this is awesome, but if you did this, it'd be fucking perfect.
A lot better, yeah.
Yeah.
But it just shows they care. They care about putting out a good pattern on good clothing at a good price. And you can get most of Huntworth gear at Farm Kings and Farm and Fleets and maybe Fleet Farm.
It's all over Fleet Farm and up where I'm at. My first pair of like decent gloves I ever got was Huntworth gloves. I got those a long time ago. I still actually
Walmart
have
had
them,
Huntworth gloves for a while, I think.
Yep.
I think
I think they still do.
But they've made leaps and bounds of improvements. Since those days.
Yeah, for sure.
But Huntworth's just a great company. Old Barn Taxidermy is another amazing company we work with. Doug's Bear is back. Looks awesome.
Looks really good.
We're getting an Old Barn sign for
Can be
that
better.
side. We got the G2 taxidermy supply sign, which is great. And man, if you have a good taxidermist, support them to the end, because most of them seem burnt out. There's a new wave of, I think, motivated taxidermists, but Old Barn has been like such a blessing for us to have met them and like formed a partnership with them, and like the stuff they've done is just absolutely incredible.
And Sam's got a lot of energy too. He's
So
still
much.
super passionate about what he's doing. and
He was here
everything
today,
else, so.
hanging out with us and just excited, and just I love Sam and Linda and Colton and everybody at Old Barn. The girls, they're the shit. They're the shit. They
Yeah,
are
they're shit.
I don't know how else
Best
to explain it.
Yeah.
The best thing is, like, talking to Sam and Linda. Sam's super humble.
The most
yeah.
humble.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Most humble dude
He's
ever.
like, wheels it in. It's like brushes it off. I'm like,
That's a badass black
Look at
bear
that.
mount, dude.
yes. And he's like, yeah, I did this part, but the girls did, and he's always trying to shine light on somebody else.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean,
Exactly.
How great of a boss is that? I wish he was my freaking boss.
Right?
Yeah. He's almost too humble sometimes. Like, dude, pump yourself up, dude. You're absolutely
You're the
killing
man.
it out
I know.
there.
Killing it.
That's what makes them so sweet. They're just the best. And dude, it's like we tell, that's how close we're Old Barn. When they leave, we hug them, tell them we love them.
Yep.
Yeah.
We do that with most of our crew. Like we're fortunate for that, right? But Old Barn's the best. They're in Fort Madison, Iowa. If you know a taxidermist, they're getting forms, whitetail forms, G2 taxidermy supply. We do a series once a month, about the middle, right around the 15th of the month, with G2 taxidermy supply. They offer the best deal, forms made right there in Fort Madison, right there. Tanner's hand pouring forms and getting them ready. And they're the best. It's the best bang for your buck. Your taxidermist will save money, make more, be happier. It's just a good fucking deal.
And don't forget about Old Barn too. They have drop offs everywhere. So if you want to go send a deer there, look
Yep.
it up.
Easier than you think.
Trophy Line is another partner of ours, mobile hunting game, mostly known for their saddle hunting, obviously, but I think becoming more known for their packs and mobile hunting accessories. Absolutely killing the game. We have a code WCB. If you have not dove into any Trophy Line products, I recommend. I like the Fanatic saddle. That's been my go-to.
The covert, baby.
Man, I want to say I go back and forth. I might have been a 50-50 saddle hunter, tree stand hunter last year, but I think I might have been more of like an 80-20. I might have been more of a saddle guy last year than I was.
Ooh, converting over.
Shit,
Huh?
dude.
I killed Floppy out of a saddle.
Fuck it. It's Pride Month.
Hey, so it's men's mental health month.
You're converting, huh?
What do you hunt on a saddle?
No, I haven't.
No.
I have one, but I don't have like a
Hey.
platform for it. But I'm piecing one together.
Hey, Greg Ritz podcast, saddle hunting with a fucking encore.
Oh yeah, one-handed.
Pistol hunting from a saddle. That's gangster.
I don't have a saddle.
the way to do
I don't
it.
have a saddle system yet, and I don't know anything about it. Like, I really want to do it.
It's a
And I hope-
realm.
It's not as hard as you think.
I know. I hope my kids got me something for Father's Day that says
They
saddle.
better.
It's gonna be great. I know.
It's probably
10
too late.
millimeter
Way
range.
too late now. But they
It
should.
better be.
I hate.
Second to be a 10 millimeter socket.
Yeah, there you go. A whole Tic Tac box of it. I hate and love the saddle tree stand conversation because it's so beat to death. But it's like, just use what you need for the application. Like, sometimes I'll grab a Novix. Sometimes I'll grab a trophy line. And it just depends where I'm going and what I have at the ready. They're interchangeable. I can use them both now confidently and feel good in my decision. Whereas before, being less familiar with the saddle, I'd always go tree stand. But now I've just saddle hunted so much and I have my system down. And I mean, the size comparisons, you got it all fit in this little ball. It's real.
Yeah.
Especially with the
like,
Hyperlight sticks coming. Fuck.
Like you said, whatever's like most ready, and like usually the saddle setup's the most ready.
I always try to keep a saddle option now and a trophy line option going. And I try to not be lazy when I'm done with the set and just get down and go, I'll get it later. I try to pull it down. I'm trying to do better at that now. Now, I will say when I kill a deer, I go, fuck that. I'll get that set later. I'm going to get that deer. Which is what I did.
Right.
And, but it's kind of like, you learn a lot when you mobile hunt, right? If you grab a Novix tree stand, which you can use code WCB at Novix as well. So if you use a Hilo and you go in on a mobile set or the new hybrid, I think is going to be a very used stand by me this fall. It's that actually, I might use that stand next to the Hyperlight series. It'll be interesting to see which way I go. And it just depends on mood, really. So I can't be like, I prefer this because I don't know.
Right.
But the option is great. And what's awesome when you work with great companies like Novix and Trophy Line, they're both top tier premier mobile hunting companies, essentially. What do you need, where, and why? A lot of it might be as simple as what direction do I expect the deer to come from? Might be how I set up in a tree stand or a saddle. Because how I'm set up in a tree stand, the deer might be on my weak side. But when I'm set up in a saddle facing the tree, then it's on my strong side. It might just be how can I draw with the lowest chance of being picked off. That might be the only reason why I do saddle. And that's just me, but being honest. So it's good to have both the options. We love both companies.
Oh yeah.
The Trophy Line guys are also awesome too. Like it seems like all the partners of the show, it's like there's all great people behind it too. So
we know them. We know the guys from Novix.
Yeah.
We know the guys from Trophy Line. Like we know the guys from Grizzly. We know the guys from Elite. I know everybody.
Yeah.
And it's not like a paycheck. Like there's like people might just think like, oh yeah, that's all it is. But it's like there's a line of conversations that happen before it's just like, yeah, we're partnering.
Right.
We think about it. Like Aluma's a new partner, Aluma Trailers. That it's a non-hunting company, but not really, because hunters are buying trailers to do their job. So it wasn't just like one phone call. We're like, yep, call it good. All right, okay, bye.
And then never talk to him again.
It's a series of conversations, and is this going to work? And then they came in, and it's like, oh yeah, you guys fit the bill.
Right.
So, Aluma Trailers, AlumaKLM.com. Aluma's out of right by you, right near Osage.
Are they?
They're not far. Yeah.
What town?
Shit. What's the
I know
town called?
I know there's one out by like Cresco.
Well, yeah, that'd be one of them right there.
Yeah.
God, what is the town they're in?
Fat Finger and everything here.
Whenever I drive through Cresco, I know I always see like Aluma trailers and shit out there.
About us.
Yeah, sorry guys, fucking.
Where is one? Emmitsburg
Oh yeah.
and Bancroft.
Okay, I don't know where Bancroft is at, but Emmitsburg. That's like probably like an hour and a half, 2 hours away. I think.
Yeah. Oh, it is. That
Yeah,
far. I thought it was a
yeah.
little closer. But it's like that's a badass company. And Nick Hoffman actually connected the dots. He came in and recorded with us. Nick Hoffman's like the spokesperson for Huntworth.
Yep.
So it's just kind of funny how that rolls in, And they hit us up like, hey, we work with Nick, and Nick said you guys are awesome. And if says you're awesome, we think he's awesome, then yay, we're pretty cool. And it's like, oh, all right, we're all awesome. Put the high five, baby.
Hell yeah.
Everyone rules here.
Let's
This is
fucking
great.
party.
Yeah, everyone rules. The podcast also brought to you by Black Ovis and Camo Fire. Camo Fire's got like revolving deals every 12 hours. I think it's 12 hours, isn't it? Like a revolving deal. And then Black Ovis is a pretty unique type place. I got introduced initially to Black Ovis from the Huntworth from Buckstorm Boys.
Oh, yeah.
So you go to blackovis.com and they have everything. And you can go through clothing, footwear, optics, gear, archery, camping, brands, and then sale. You use code WCB and save coin at everything they offer. I got my new Avian X turkey decoy from there. They do turkey deals every spring. They do sales every fall. They do summer sales. Black Ovis shines even brighter when it comes to like footwear, crispy boots, Solomon's. I mean, all they carry Arrow Builder, the Arrow ID Builder.
Yep.
You can get your Victory arrows through there. Custom everything. Pick your fletching colors. Pick all that stuff. I've shipped to your door, ready to rock. They have people that sit in the facility and hand do your arrows with care. They have a station for it. It's pretty unique. So check them out. Mountain Ops is also a partner. Well, boys, big announcement. I heard Rocky Mountain Ricky's coming back.
Oh,
Best flavor, in
never
my
had it.
opinion. Oh, dude, you ever had Rocky Mountain Ricky?
Yeah.
I did at
This is
at the Iowa show. I did.
But I'm drinking Dale Brisby Old Sun Punch right now with a little white rum.
Can we get a truckload of
is that good?
Rocky Mountain Ricky?
Yeah, it's good.
Is it good?
White rum's
Yeah,
always
can
good.
we
in
get some
my mouth.
pallets of that?
Dude, never mind. I won't say what I want to do. I want Rocky Mountain Ricky back.
I want that.
I've heard good things.
And it's
It's
coming
so
back.
good.
Yeah.
so
Was it
good.
like grape?
Yeah, you like grape?
Grape lime, baby,
dude.
but it tastes like heaven.
That purple drink, dude.
It's basically purple drink.
That
Yeah,
perp.
I like
It's
it.
purple drink for white hunters.
Yeah, perfect.
What the hell?
Hell
went
yeah,
there.
dude.
Yeah,
Let's
and you
go.
use code
Come on now.
WCB, you save 20% and you donate 5 meals to Conquer Hunger, which we appreciate that. And the podcast is brought to you by Deercast. Deercast is our choice, and Whitetail Mapping, predictive tools, map your stands, map your trail cams, map when to hunt. Help decide when you want to hunt
Yeah.
or not hunt.
Yes.
My
Yeah,
favorite
there you
thing
go.
is the rain gauge.
Ooh, rain gauges. Oh, fuck. I got to put my rain gauge in my
I
plot.
love it.
I got to put one
That's
out.
my favorite part of the whole thing.
So rain gauge, you can drop a rain gauge and it gives you, lets you know if you got rain or not.
Yeah.
So basically what it is. I need to put one on where I put in my borderline.
See,
I need to do that. I'll do that tonight. If you go to our link in the description, the discount code's already applied for your Deercast membership. And Loophole Optics is a partner. We're just ripping through these ads like kind of
Fuck yeah, dude.
crazy. Loophole, you just went to Loophole
go.
Range Day.
Yeah, you
I did. Range week.
We're just chatting.
Shit.
Let's get through
That's
some
awesome.
of these quick, and I want to talk about
Yeah.
that. Victory Arrows talked about. Dialed Archery. Shout out to Scott Bakken. Code Working Class saves you free shipping on an Arxos single pin site. Rogue Ridge e-bikes is back on board. Just got the 1000 our bikes on, so got to put them together so I can jump them like a Suron over an embankment into traffic.
I just put
can't
mine
wait.
together the other night.
Hey,
It's ripping.
We're gonna be
Real
rocking.
evil
it.
Knievel out there.
We're gonna get to it. Jacob, you went to Loophole Range
dude.
Day.
Shit. Yeah, I did. Right after bear camp.
Oh, yeah, you went to Bear Camp and then
Yeah.
went from Bear Camp to Loophole Range Day.
Yeah. So okay. Yeah.
What a couple weeks, huh?
Shit, dude, it is wild. So, yeah, I guess drove out to Wyoming, did bear camp. I stopped in South Dakota, jumped in the truck with Derek Verbeek from Buckstorm.
Yeah, he's awesome.
And, yeah, he's the shit. Drove out the rest of the way with him to Wyoming, did bear camp, came back home after all that happened. And my bear camp episode just dropped today too. So
77.
yeah,
check it out.
Yeah, so if you want that whole story and how that went, then you can listen to that. But yeah, came back for a night, hung out with my wife, kissed her on the forehead, love you, and then I'm out to
all you did?
Oregon. Yeah. Oh,
Hey,
Oh,
so I drove up to Minneapolis, flew out to Oregon, and met up with a bunch of guys from Loophole, and dude, that shit ruled. That was awesome.
That's awesome.
That's so much fun. It was
What'd you guys even do?
The best time. We shot guns. It's like a long range shooting, I guess, expo, or training week or whatever is
So real quick, we got an email from Loophole about, hey,
Yeah.
can you guys attend the range day? Well, yeah, we could have. It would have been pushing it, but it doesn't do us any good to do the Loophole Firearm Range Day when
Right.
we have a firearm podcast on the network. So I go, can we send our host from our firearm podcast to the range day? That makes it just one, it helps our firearm podcast, and two, it's
Makes
more in
sense.
line, And they're like, absolutely. So I'm like, cool. So I called Jacob, hey, this makes sense. And that's how it
Yeah. And we were talking about it. I'm like, yeah, dude, I'd fucking love to go. But I'm like, it's right after Wyoming bear camp. I'll have to clear it with the old lady first. So I talked to Ashley, and God bless her. She's a saint. But I was talking to her. I'm like, it's literally right after bear camp. And so she's like, well, we'll figure it out. We'll make it work. Just say yes. I'm like, okay. So I did.
say
and
yes.
oh
Bless
my
her
gosh.
heart.
Yeah. Bless her heart. It was it was awesome, dude. Getting to go there and met a bunch of awesome people. I mean,
Everyone was there. It looked
dude,
like
it was the shit. Met Taylor Drury was there. Matt Drury was there. Chad Mendez was there. Johnny Utah was there.
Greg Ritz.
And Greg Ritz was there. And my new friend Justin, and Justin was there. He's fucking a country singer in Nashville. He's awesome. Justin Adams. If you guys don't know who he is, I don't know. I don't listen to a whole lot of country, so I know who he was. When I first got there, was like,
yeah.
I met him. He's the shit. He's a super cool dude. He's from Oklahoma, but he went to college in UNI.
Oh,
So the
really?
University of Northern Iowa.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was talking to him
That's
like, holy
random.
shit, dude. Yeah, it's super random. So talking to him,
wow.
he's the man. Probably my favorite dude in country.
Okay,
probably.
so let me ask you this, because I will say, sorry, I'm just exiting out a couple things here. Your podcast, how long has Victory Drive been in existence?
a little over a year.
A little over a year.
Yeah.
So you're new in the industry, and you're doing a great job, and your podcast is, I feel, taken seriously. And we get great feedback. So you go to this place. Was everyone like, "Who are you?"
Yeah.
Where they were?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And
Yeah. No one knew who I was. No one knew who I was. When I walked off, when I got, I lied. Greg knew.
Greg knew.
Yeah. I got on the plane, and is the connecting flight from Salt Lake City to Redmond. And I got on the plane. I was looking around, like, see if there's any loophole hats running around. And I saw one. I looked over, and it's Greg.
Oh, he's
And I
on the flight with you?
He's on the connecting flight from Salt Lake. So I saw him, like, howdy, Greg. And he's like, hey, buddy. Like, at least I know one person here. I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, dude. This is gonna be fun. At least at least knowing one person is gonna be sweet. And then I got on the plane. I sat back in the cheap seats because that's where Loophole put me. But
Victory Drive.
yeah, like, you get the engine seats, you know.
Yeah. If the plane goes down,
Yeah.
you're dying first.
The lavatory, have fun bumping elbows with shitters, you know.
Yeah.
But but I sat down, and actually Justin was right across the aisle from me, but I didn't know who
Who he was.
if it was
At
him
the
or
time.
not, you know. And we were flying in, and honestly, okay, that flight, first of all, that was probably one of the sketchiest flights I've ever been on.
Really, just
Yeah.
choppy air, huh? Rough air.
Dude, it was really rough air. We're just fucking just getting all beat up. I'm like, fucking no.
This
I'm
is
sitting there
coming from a
laughing.
guy who's flown overseas to fight in combat.
Yeah, and the plane that we took to Afghanistan had like duct tape on the wing. It was just like a whole big thing. I'm like, this is fucking wild. But this plane ride was super choppy, massive turbulence. I'm like just flopping around there. I'm like, holy fuck. The chick next to me was like rubbing her leg. She's like, oh fuck. like sweating balls. I'm like looking at her. I'm like, I'm gonna make light of the situation. I'm just like starting to laugh. I'm like, oh, that was a good one, huh?
Come here often.
I'm like laughing, like
Hey, have you
nervously
ever heard-
laughing, trying to make everyone feel a little more comfortable, but no one appreciated it
Just
whatsoever.
like, shut the fuck up.
Have you ever heard the Bill Burr skit when he's talking about being on a plane and there's a dude next to him every time they hit like bad turbulence?
Start making noises.
There's like a funny, he's like, you got to pull it together, dude. You know, I want to do that too, but you
But
gotta
I'm a
pull it-
man, dude.
yeah,
I'm
you-
not gonna do it.
Yeah, you got to pull it together. That's fun.
Yeah,
But you
yeah.
survived.
Had
oh,
you
yeah.
that nervous, huh?
I didn't get nervous.
Oh.
No, I wasn't really nervous because the way I think of it, it's like, you know, if we're flying a plane, starts getting all choppy and stuff, and it decides to go down, it's like, pff, what am I going to do about it? Like, I can't fucking do anything about it. It's like,
Yeah.
if the Lord wills it and it goes down, then it is what it is. I don't have to worry about turbulence anymore. You know, it's just over. You know, so
Definitely not.
All those worries
You
gone.
will never have to worry about turbulence again.
yeah, no, I don't know.
Don't
I
even
don't
think about it.
Yeah, I don't really get nervous about that kind of stuff because I did this thing a few years ago where it's like, if it's out of my control, I just don't worry about it.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
like that. Yeah.
So it's like, if I can't fucking do anything about it, so why worry about it? I worry about
does
the
that stem
shit
from
I
war?
can do. Probably. Yeah, I don't know. Probably. I mean, but at war too, it's like there's a lot of stuff that you can control, but obviously you can't control what they do, but you can control how you react to what they're doing. You know.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah, probably that too. That probably had a lot to do with it, but it's just the way. Yeah, kind of since I've been like that for quite a while. My wife kind of gets mad at me about it. She's like, "Why don't you get like worked up about this stuff?" I'm like, I don't know. There's really no point.
I love
'cause
it.
I can't
No
fucking.
point to
I
get
can't
worked
do
up.
anything about
Such a
it. so,
calculated
shit.
way of thinking, right? Okay, so when you get to the Loophole Range Day, are you like, hey, I'm
Yeah.
Jacob, I'm Victory Drive, want to do
No.
the podcast? Because
Yeah.
there's so many connections made for the show.
Right. So I don't know, man. I probably need to be better about that kind of stuff. But this is one thing I definitely did in the Army when I would switch units. I would just like kind of sit in the back and just not say shit and just kind of like look around and
hang out.
survey the situation. You know, I don't know if I can make, you know, fucking, I don't know, gay jokes or not to certain people. So I don't, I just like to
Do
sit
it
back and
anyway,
relax a
brother.
little bit.
Keep the good fight alive.
Yeah. So I'd like to sit back, relax, survey the situation, see how everyone is kind of at first. But, getting into different situations where I don't know anybody, it's like, it's not really new to me. So, but yeah, I got off the plane. I knew Greg just followed Greg. He walked up there. He knows everybody. So I just followed him, like kind of shadowed him. And then they were all talking to a bunch of people. I'm like, they got to be in. And they're all wearing loopholed shit. So I'm like, cool. And I just sat in the back. Then Kaylee came to me. She's like, are you Jacob? I'm like, yep. She's like, oh, well, shit. Come on over here. Join the group. I'm like, all right. So I waddle in there. I'm like, hey, guys.
Like the homeschooled kid.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It's like you're just kicking rocks over there.
The biggest dude.
Yeah. Well, and like they're all talking and like, oh, hey, fucking giving hugs and high five and doing all this stuff. I'm like, no one knows.
You're just standing in the corner with your hands in your pocket.
Yeah. Yeah. Taylor was there.
Were you just like, I
she was on that
came.
flight
Taylor's
too.
awesome.
Yeah.
Were you getting all
she's
nervous?
amazing.
Like, I should have came.
But yeah, Taylor listens something much.
No, I didn't. I didn't really get nervous about it. But yeah, she's on that flight too. I just didn't see her when I walked in. But then after getting into the group in the Cool Kids Club, I was sitting around there and they were all still talking. I'm just kind of like, sitting there and. We left and I fucking had to go pee, so I went pee, and then how detailed do you want this? I went number one.
I had to shit, so I left.
Like, hey guys, where's the closest shitter? I got a real big one rocking here. So
That's how you open your introduction to everybody.
yeah.
They're just
Don't say a whole word for an hour and just lead with that.
I gotta take a big
gotta
shit.
My name's Jake. Nice to meet you. I gotta poop. So no, then we got out. We ate some lunch and stuff because we were all hungry, and that's when I really got to know everyone. And like I said, Justin was there, Greg was there, Taylor was there, so got to know them pretty well on the ride from the airport to the we went to the hotel first and kind of got ready for the night, and we did like
Meet and greet.
yeah, like a supper and everything else. We all got together, and a bunch of other people came in at different times. Like Chad came in at a different time, and oh shit, what I can't remember. So there's her name was Jess. I can't remember her last name now. I'm a fucking terrible person. Hopefully she doesn't listen to this. But she's from Montana Knife Company, and she was awesome too. But
she used to be.
Came in.
Didn't she used to be Cam Haynes?
Maybe that didn't come up in conversation, but she was there too. She's super awesome. Everyone was super awesome, but yeah, we all fucking had supper and everything else and talked and met and everything else. It was great. We had a few drinks and Justin was playing his guitar and singing some songs. So yeah, it was a really just chill night the first night. Then the next day we came in and started doing we started at like very base level stuff, and we all got reacquainted again and everything else. Then we did like some classroom stuff like slideshows, and these are the scopes and these are fucking how they work, and parallax and glass and light refraction has to go reverse and backwards and upside down before it hits your eye, and then everything's straight. Taught us all really a whole bunch of in-depth stuff about scopes that I didn't ever know, because I mean that's like engineer shit. I don't care as long as when I'm looking through it.
I just want to look through it.
Yeah, if it says 3 to 18, I want it to go from 3 to 18. So it's like, I don't really care. I never really cared about how they work necessarily, but they went through all that stuff, and it was actually super interesting. And went over some of the new stuff, the new products, like their new rangefinder and all that stuff. And we used the new rangefinder while there.
Dude, how cool is that?
Dude, that thing's...
It marks pens on
Holy
on
fuck.
it.
Yeah. And actually, what's cool is it's going to be coming to DeerCast too.
Hell yeah.
Soon. So yeah. Taylor and Matt were like, we need to get this on DeerCast. Like, we're working on it. Apps take a while. I'm like, yeah, we know.
Dude, the app thing
one.
is a complicated thing. But
dude, that's fucking...
But how cool is
Silicon
that?
Valley
So you got
stuff.
like a full firsthand experience with that, and
Yeah, so got to use it quite a bit. It's amazing. Like, you just Bluetooth it to your phone, it connects. So when you are in the app, you just hit like pin next, and you range it out there. It goes out to 5,000 yards.
which is crazy.
5,000 yards.
Yeah, it comes with this cool little deal, so you can put it in there, crimp it down. You can put it in like a tripod or something like that. Because if you're ranging out to 5,000 fucking yards, you're not freehanding it, dude. It's like,
like a 1,600 yard rangefinder is far.
It's far, yeah.
5,000 is crazy.
That's crazy far. But when you're pinning something, it makes sense. Like if you're out there glassing out west or wherever you're at,
You need mostly approximate.
Yeah. But the fucking crazy thing is when you're ranged out there, say it's like 4,386 yards away, and you're looking through your spotting scope, and you're like, oh my gosh, there's a big fucking bull there. I want to see where I need to get over there. you range it, put in your tripod, fucking give it a range. It's going to be within 25 yards or less.
Impressive.
25.
Insane,
At
dude.
4,000 whatever random yards.
Yeah. That's fucking
Far
insane,
as
dude.
fuck.
That's crazy. So I was like pretty blown away with that new range. I think it's the RX 5000 is what it's called.
Yeah.
But it's the shit. I think it's so cool. That's probably the coolest thing that's come out since range fighting binos, honestly. And even then, I would rather take that RX 5000 out than range fighting binos.
So we have the range finding binos here.
Yep.
From Loophole, which I'm sure you farted with this
I didn't actually.
on that. But yeah, like here we got the RX 5000 pulled up, and the guy, has it on a tripod with his phone. Range finding for the modern hunter. Locate pinning right to your phone. Imagine being able to range a target and instantly have its location appear on your smartphone. This is now possible with the RX 5000 pinning feature in the Loophole control app. By aiming, ranging, and pinning, you can mark waypoints or digital mapping systems like Onyx Hunt, Google Maps, and Apple Maps, simplifying tasks like scouting and backcountry navigation. The navigation thing is so big for that. It might be for your safety.
Yeah.
If you're getting in a low light and you're like, I need to get back over there, or
yeah.
whatever it could be,
thinking.
Dude, it'll come in handy. It's one of those things where you get it and you're like, okay, cool, I can drop pins on my whatever mapping service I want to use. But it's going to be one of those products that you use way more than you think you're going to use.
Right.
especially if you're hunting in big country.
You can use it for multiple things more like
Well, here,
more than you think.
Yeah, like say you're out there hunting and stuff too. It's like, oh shit, there's a big deer out there, and you fucking range it. Say you're on some public that you don't know, you range it and you look at your phone, and it's oh shit, that's actually
it's on
deep into private.
Yeah.
So
Shit.
that sucks. Whatever.
Yeah, enhanced optics and long-range performance, speed, accuracy, and advanced features may be the hallmarks of quality rangefinder, but ultimately, performance comes down to the optical system. That's why we equipped the RX 5000 with the best-in-class ranging performance and an 8-time magnification, enabling hunters and shooters to see and engage distant targets in precision. The new long-range mode unlocks extremely accurate 5,000-yard performance on trees and animals, and even further on reflective targets. Just stabilize the RX 5000 with a tripod and the included saddle mount before you put it to work, as even the slightest movement can impact your readings. Makes sense, right? We also equipped the RX 5000 with a bright red... which is an inside joke from the podcast
I was
with me
going
and
to try
Michael.
telling you that it came in black, but you read it. So.
Yeah, I'm trying to argue with the guy who works at fucking Loophole on the colors.
Well, you're wrong. Mine was black.
No, I got the only one. Ensuring precise readings in any lighting condition and a waterproof housing to shut out moisture, including rain, snow, mud, and sleet. So no matter how tough the conditions are, it'll never let you down. And here it kind of gives some example how to navigate the menu. It runs you all through. This is all on Loophole's website, so if you're curious about it.
Check it out.
So the TBR gives you a true ballistic range. TBR mode contains 4 functions: CDS, MIL, MOA, or TRIG, and use 25 selectable ballistic groups to calculate precise shoot to range up to 800 yards. Taking into account factors such as distance, angle, and bullet characteristics. This mode can help you calculate 10 mile an hour per wind holds.
Yeah. So the cool thing, like all that shit you just read, like CDS, that's obviously the Loophole custom dial system. So like when you if you get a CDS scope, you can send them all your ballistic data for
Which I need to do for my 300 Win Mag.
Yeah, you do. Yep. So you send that in, they laser engrave yardages into your turret cap rather than whether it's in MIL or MOA.
Like having it dialed on your Loophole.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, it is. You just dial the range and shoot. It's really awesome for like hunting situations. Like competitors and stuff they're going to stick with like MIL. No one uses not a lot of competitors really use MOA because MIL's a lot more fine.
What's MOA?
Minute of angle. It's just so it's basically, if you think about it, like MIL being the I don't know, what's the non-American version of metric system? There you go. MIL's like the metric system, and MOA is like the American standard version, where MOA comes in, it's in American, I don't know, yards and shit. MIL
Comes in English.
Yeah,
Yards
comes in
and
fucking
shit.
American English rather than stupid fucking Dewey Decimal System. But MIL is like so much more precise. Like if you're dialing, instead of doing each turn being a quarter MOA, which at 100 yards is a quarter inch, right?
Right.
So, but it's all based on 100 yards. So if you're closer than 100 yards, it's going to be different. If you're further than 100 yards, it's going to be different, So it's all based on, 100 yards. Mil is, each click is 0.1 mil. So you're getting a lot more clicks in between. So you can get a lot more finer, I guess group, and you're more precise with mil than you are with MOA. So
Gotcha.
A lot of competitors like to use mil, but as far as hunting goes, the CDS is the best. It's the best ever. It just makes things simple. You're just trying to hit a 10-inch plate at 800 yards isn't that hard. So it's like when you're using the CDS, it's like you can be a little bit off and still kill the animal. So
Okay. So I didn't mean to go on. I feel like that was important, kind of, to talk about this because you're at the Loophole like range week, or whatever it is. So okay, so you guys go through all this, and like what? Because what I saw, it looked like
I have a question.
Bucky.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
So let me back up to this rangefinder.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think what you're saying is that the way it works, it runs by Bluetooth, right? So it's going to Bluetooth to your phone. That's going to send it to a map that you're going to have saved, a offline map.
Yeah, more
so
than
it doesn't
likely.
need cellular data.
Nope, because it's Bluetooth. You don't need
perfect.
Yeah, you don't need cell data.
Well, let's think of this from
You don't
a.
need cellular data. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, it's the shit because there's a lot of places out there that are super
Sorry to
remote.
interrupt.
So
But
No. That's a great point. So when I think about this initially, like the examples they're using here on Leopold's website, it's showing a guy range from mountain to mountain above like a mule deer or a goat or whatever the fuck it is. So that's what I think when I think this. It's like, oh man, when you're in big terrain, big country in Wyoming, like where we go elk hunting, you're like, fuck, that's so far, or I need to get down there. I'm going to mark the road. It's getting dark on me, and I'm not familiar. I need to get back down to that road. You could mark the road or mark where the elk is and then come back. I just want to get up on that spot. But really, that's the extreme side of it. Now, it'll be used probably mostly for that. But I'm thinking of ways I could use it in the whitetail woods. So, or maybe less crazy terrain, mule deer woods or antelope country, just to mark pins for game plans on, or there's a buck bedded there and he's at 4,000 yards.
yeah,
And somehow you saw him, spotter or whatever. You can mark that and then make game plans on how to get to that area. Not necessarily like extreme conditions of whatever it might be. Or it might be as simple as, Doug, you shot your giant bear and you saw him. This is the last spot you saw him. You're going to back out and wait. You can range and mark
right on
last sight, which is
That's awesome.
really favors you in the line of ethics of recovery.
it does 100%.
Oh, yeah.
I think recovery, it's gonna be used a lot in recovery for sure. Because like you hit an animal and everything else, and everyone knows it's been like mountain situations and stuff. If you see something, you do your best. You find like stuff out there to kind of orient yourself.
Recognize,
Yeah,
yeah.
recognize like, oh yeah, okay. Really green sagebrush out there. All right, I'll remember that really green sagebrush that's right next to you. Then you go out there and you're like, every fucking sagebrush is green.
Yeah.
I think
God dang
Even
it.
getting down from a tree stand
Fuck.
when you're in the mountains, you're like, okay, it's right there, yeah. And you
Yeah.
get down like, is this even where I was sitting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it looks
what's
totally
going on?
different down here.
It
But now
could
you can
be
just shoot it and
shooting
go.
a whitetail and you hit him a touch back and you watch him dip across this field. Like Eric, maybe in your situation, you could have watched him go a long way. You can be like, all right, he went next to that, that locust tree.
Right.
Well, instead of being like, remember that, like you said, remember that locust tree, you could go,
click.
okay.
That one right there.
Well, and what does everyone want to do when they see that happen? Especially when you're bow hunting, it's like you hit an animal, it runs off, and you lose it, right? But you always have a spot where you lose it from. Everyone gets down from their tree, walks over there,
Instantly loses it.
and fucking marks on their map, then backs out. But what if that deer was laying
yards.
down 20 yards away that you just couldn't see? Then you bump him up, and he runs 1.5 miles. It's like you don't need to bump him anymore. You can literally be sitting in your tree stand, mark it, and then just back out.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah, there's a lot of benefits to it.
I think, and also when you're hunting out west, like when I was in Hunt Wars, this would have came in handy so much because when we're out there during scouting day, looking at all these different pronghorn out there, it's like I could have just been shooting pronghorn with my fucking rangefinder, marking them, changing the little point on my map and saying like, yeah, big one here, small one there, rather than trying to look at my map and guesstimate where he's at in a plains
he's right here.
of nothingness where there's nothing to look at. You look at the map and it's just flat. There's nothing there. So you're like, I can't really I don't know. I think
Judge
it's
it
like,
off anything.
Yeah, from where I'm at, he's like 800 yards over that way, I guess.
It's pretty impressive, man. It's revolutionary. We got to play with it a little bit. Michael had one on hand earlier this winter or late winter. But dude, I think back, I like messed with some of this Leupold stuff, and I had some old, I won't say the brand, other rangefinders, and I thought they were badass.
Yep.
And then you get some of these. It's like I remember having to like click, 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 click,
Yeah.
click, 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 click to get a range. Now it's like it hits you so fast you can't. You know what I mean? It's like,
dude.
every time you hit the button, you're getting a goddamn range. You're not seeing lines across the thing. Where it's
You're
trying
trying
to
to
I think
process
that's a
it.
be computing. You can hear the thing wind up.
Yeah, dial up internet on that bitch.
Yeah, you can hear the RAM spinning up on it.
You're just like staring at it like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
Shut up.
My first rangefinder didn't have scan mode. Like when you hold it down and you just like you just give me your yardages like every second, whatever.
Yeah.
It didn't have scan mode, and I got my Leupold rangefinder. I had a 1700 on there before, or whatever, 1400. It was a 1400. That's what it was before. And it had scan mode. I'm just sitting in there in my tree stand stuff. I'm just like scanning everything, like just fucking like, oh my god, dude, I feel like
just blowing the tits off every rangefinder you had back in the day. Yeah.
Like this thing rules. Just even scanning what I thought was badass. Now it's like, holy shit, now I'm dropping pins on my
It sounds like a big commercial of Leupold, but if we hated Leupold, do you think we'd be able to talk about it this fluently for this long?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
Well,
like, dude, Michael said the best. And I want to get back to the range day, but it's like this is worthy conversation of optics because like even in bow hunting, this is a thing that you can use. And I know the scope thing I'm foreign to, right? I have Leupold scopes but I don't know them.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like binos, like our 10x42s or whatever you're rocking, when Michael's in here, we always refer to this statement. It's like you're having FOMO, you don't know it. If you don't whitetail hunt with binos, you're missing shit. I promise you. I don't say that you're probably missing shit. No, you're missing shit. You are.
Confidently saying that.
Confidently. I know if you don't hunt with binoculars, even if you hunt in exclusively heavy timber, you're missing shit.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
you can burn through so much foliage with binos. It's insane. So it's like I don't know. I can't.
Do you know
not
how
have
many
them, dude.
deer Leupold is responsible for me? Like, would I have killed the deer still with or without it? Maybe. But the chance of me going, oh, here's a deer coming. I like that buck and he's working this way. I can put everything away and grab my bow and be prepared for him to show to where I'm going to draw. I can remember, I'd say 3 or 4 deer for sure.
For example, of my buck this year, he was laying in that ditch. I would have never seen him laying in that ditch if it wasn't for the binos.
There you go.
Well,
See,
how many times have you been sitting in your tree stand and you're like, I'm pretty hungry. I could go for a little snack. And you're like, it's like now you can scan around, make sure you're not going to spook anything when
always
you're
gotta do
getting
is
your
scan.
instead of jerking
little
off,
debbies.
Doug,
I scanned
You're
before
looking-
I jerk.
I scan while I jerk.
God damn.
so you know the coast is clear.
Just kidding.
If you're going to burn a whole day of hunting for jerking, you better know there's nothing coming.
Yeah.
That joke went way
Multitasker,
too
huh?
far.
Except for you.
The only thing
It went so far. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Sorry, Leupold, but it's correct.
It's true. Yeah. I mean,
Make sure no one's around.
All day sits get lonely, Doug.
get real
They do.
lonely.
They do.
How do you think he fertilizes that mustache?
What the hell?
What the hell
Sorry, I
does that
don't
mean?
know.
Too far.
Tree sat.
That's too far, Jacob.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. It was a good try. I see what he was going
Yeah,
for.
I see what you're trying to do. But
Yeah.
So you're the biggest dude at Leupold Range Day, and everyone's scared of you because you're telling everyone how you had to poop at minute 1.
Uh-huh.
So you're learning
Yes,
about
there
all
is
this
that.
shit. So like, what, do you guys do long range shots or like what?
Yeah. So, okay. So, second day, we get in there, we do our, slideshow presentations and all that stuff. Then we get into like how to properly mount a scope. So, we had a little class on mounting a scope on a rifle. And Matt, he brought his, he's one of the Leupold guys. He brought his rifle in and he didn't have a scope mounted on it yet. So, he's like, okay, here we go. This is how you mount a scope. It took like, he did in like 5 minutes. He's like, oh, sick. He had a lot of little tips and tricks. Like, dude, I told him this too. I'm like, dude, I don't have like a bunch of levels and shit at my house. I need to get some for when I'm mounting scopes. But like, I did use one of yours because I actually took yours to the gun shop.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I did yours
By the
right.
way-
I did yours. I knew how to do it right, but on my rifle, sometimes I'm like, fuck, I gotta go to the range and get like shooting a little bit. And sometimes I'm a little bit rushed. I'm kind of a procrastinator sometimes, but I'm like, dude, I'm just gonna, in your house, your door jams should be pretty fucking level. So you just put that bitch up there and get the crosshairs pretty on with the the side of your door jams, like level.
Tighter down to go.
Nice.
It's good enough out to like 300-400 yards. That's fine. But they, we over there, it's like, putting the levels on, where to place them, putting it on the end of your barrel, and then truing it up to your scope and putting on scope rings and how to torque them down, all that good stuff. And, why torque specs are important, and all that good stuff. So learn how to mount scopes and do it properly. And then we all went out there, we mounted our own scopes onto our rifles. They came by and checked them and like, oh yeah, it looks good. And then we got into zeroing, and I actually did do a solo series on zeroing your rifle, because I'm like, well, I learned, I picked up a really good tip on zeroing your rifle while I was there, because I never used this tactic really before. I remember hearing about it, but I've never actually put it into practice. But we went out and zeroed our rifles, and I zeroed mine like 3 shots because he shows this little trick, and it's pretty badass. But bore sight in your rifle first, take out your bolt and look through the barrel at the target, and then marry it up so it looks the same on your scope as it does looking through the barrel. So now your bore sight, load it up, shoot at 100 yards, you're going to be on paper, right? So the first thing is be on paper, right, when you're zeroing a rifle. So got on paper, then you just look at that and put your crosshair on the bullseye, then you just move the crosshairs while you're looking through it using your windage and elevation. Then you just move the crosshair to the bolt hole, and then you're zeroed.
Wow.
So, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
That seems way easier.
Yeah, it's fucking easy.
Damn.
It's the shit. Like I was doing it before. I'm like, shoot, boom, fucking.
I think that
Looks like about 4 inches to the right and 3 inches low. And guessing I'm not good at math, so quarter MOA. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ah, fuck.
shoot again. I went the wrong way. Damn it.
Well, think about like the time it would save you. Like, okay, you're setting in a muzzle loader.
Yes.
That saves you shots and money and
Oh yeah, cleaning
and time, and that's pretty cool.
It's a really slick way to zero your rifle really fast, so, and accurately. Because then after I did that, I shot another shot, and then we did a 10-shot confirmation zero. So just take your time. It wasn't a race. You're taking your time, sitting behind your rifle, shooting. Shot 10 times, and just fucking the rifles, the schoolhouse rifles they gave us too were really nice. So
What were they?
I don't know. They had an MDT stock on them and a carbon fiber barrel and I can't remember what kind of action. I don't know if it was a Defiance action or what, but they were like really nice rifles. They weren't like just something you can go buy at Fleet Farm,
Right. Right. They're custom.
Yeah, they're really nice. Someone obviously made them for Loopold, and they, Loopold probably knows everybody, so they're like, hell yeah, I'll make you some rifles. But
Yeah.
they were really sweet shooting rifles. 0 at 100. They gave us our custom dials, and we used CDS dials the rest of the time, and we were shooting out. That day we were shooting out to 1,000 yards, and we had like hellacious winds, like fucking hurricane force winds.
What are you shooting at 1,000 yards?
Like what rifle?
No, what target? Like what are you shooting?
Oh,
like a gong or?
Yeah, they're like IPSC targets, like silhouette targets.
Okay.
So we were shooting out them. They had at each range, 300, 400, 500, all the way out to, I think we had a target all the way out there at a mile that no one hit because the fucking winds were like ripping, dude. Like,
You guys are in
ripping.
Oregon doing this?
Yeah.
So 1,000 yards, you guys are just bink, bink,
Dude,
bink.
everyone shot. Like it's Nick Kitlika. Sorry, I always say Kitlika, but Nick was out there and he's like, we will get everyone shooting and hitting at 1,000 yards today.
That's insane.
Wow.
Like, like everyone raise your hand if you shot 1,000 yards, and like.
Have you done it before that?
Oh yeah. I
In
shot
the military or just for fun?
Yep, military. Yeah, I was in a recon platoon, so we had our sniper section with us. So we'd always go out to the sniper ranges with them, and we'd fuck around and shoot.
Is it something you had to learn in the military, or something you like voluntarily just did for fun?
No, I mean just being in the recon, the scout sniper platoon, the recon platoon.
They wanted you to be able to do it.
Yeah, I mean we're just also like, why not?
Okay, I didn't know if it was like, hey, in
Something
case
to
something
do.
happens, we need you to be able to shoot this far.
No, not yeah. It's never a requirement. We all just did because we're already there, so might as well shoot them. So I ain't paying for the ammo. So I was.
I want to try and guess yet, but it's like with your military experience, did that get brought up during any of this? Like, hey, who's been in the military or like anything like that ever get brought up? Because it's that to me being kind of like a third party view on this, that plays a major role in some like shooting.
Yeah,
right?
I mean it came up in conversation, but I don't think anyone directly asked who was in the military. There's like, who's shot out past 1,000, and I rose my hand like, how far, like what's the furthest you shot? And I said I've shot out about a mile with and I said it, while I was in the military, I shot past a mile and whatnot. Like, oh, okay, cool, so. It's just one of those things. It wasn't like I guess
a cool guy over
super,
here.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Hey,
the thing
remember
too.
you had to poop too?
Yeah. Oh, you're
was
the
the poop
pooper.
guy.
You're the
Nice.
poop guy.
Oh, sick.
You're just the poop guy the whole time you're there.
That would suck.
Yeah. What's hilarious about this whole thing is I actually that didn't happen. Like I didn't have to poop.
Oh, no, it
I went
happened.
number one, but it's hilarious that it's like now it's a thing. Like I am the poop guy now.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
Nah, we'll forget.
No, you're
about
not.
it.
We'll overshadow.
No,
We'll change
no.
it. So yeah, that makes sense. I just
Yep.
was curious because all right, this is me gassing you up, right? When you're a homie to the boys, you gas your boys up.
Yep.
So if Eric's not around, I'm talking about Eric's deer. I'm like, look at this deer Eric shot. Fucking gas him up over his deer or his elk or his giraffe. Mostly it's the giraffe. Lately.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Giraffe comes
right.
up a lot.
Giraffe definitely comes up.
Yeah, the giraffe gets gassed up.
This dude skewered a giraffe. Are you kidding
Murdered,
me?
absolutely murdered in cold blood. This giraffe. Check it out. Look at this photo.
Smoked him.
You're gonna love this. It almost
Look at
killed
his arrow in
him.
there.
The dead body almost fell on him and killed him. Doug, I gassed him up about his mustache.
Yeah.
Bucky's the measure guy. You need a deer measured. Bucky's your guy. I gas up for what guys are good at. I gas them up for that. Yours is so I'm like, yeah, badass dude, host Victory Drive, but badass military guy, combat veteran. I always throw that combat veteran
Yeah.
plug out, which I don't know if
Yeah.
that's like a good thing or a bad
Well,
thing.
it's a smaller amount of the population in the army, especially now, when we're not going to war as much. But yeah, no, I mean, it's definitely a thing that, I did. And it's like, I don't know, I talk about it when it's appropriate, but I'm not like the guy that's like, my name's
No.
Jacob Johnson. I was in the fucking military. I'm a veteran.
I will
Respect me.
vouch for you.
Right.
You never do that.
Yeah.
You never do that.
Nor would you.
Nor would you. I'm fortunate enough that you've let me ask you a lot of questions about the military
Yeah.
that I probably should have never asked to anybody else.
Well, and that's the thing is like another thing with me and like the military and some guys, when they go to war and come back, they're like, don't fucking talk about it. Like, don't fucking ask me any goddamn questions about the military, like what I did and all that stuff. It's like, I feel like it's healthier to talk about it to a certain extent, at least because the more you talk about things, the easier it is to process things. It's like the longer you just kind of hold it in the back burner, put it in this little box in the back of your brain, eventually the box is going to fucking explode and you're going to
It's gonna fill up and explode.
yeah, it's gonna be bad. I've had my bad days. The first few years, like first, I don't know, probably fucking like 5-6 years of being, after coming back from Afghanistan and stuff. It's like, yeah, there's a lot there, random days, where you think about something, you're like, God, fucking damn it, shit, put it away. It's like,
Yeah.
in those moments, it's not good to talk about it because it's like it's affecting you,
Right.
But eventually, as time goes on, and time heals all wounds is what they always say. And I think the more you talk about it, the better it is. And there's just such a, I guess, culture of silence with veterans and combat veterans, especially because it's like, why the fuck would I talk about it? Like, they're not going to understand. Like, no one's going to understand
Is
it.
that where? Yeah, I can kind of see that too.
Especially when it comes to like therapy and shit like that. It's like you talk to a therapist and they're just like, oh, yes, that is peculiar.
Yeah, your degree is not going to get me through
Interesting.
anything.
And you're just sitting there like, do you even, like, you don't give a fuck, dude. Like, you're going to talk to some other dude that comes in here, probably has an alcohol issue. And you're going to do the same exact fucking routine with him. So why am I
what are you
even
writing
wasting
down?
my time, dude?
You're always writing down. Let
Yeah,
me read that.
Come on. Like, can I see the book?
Yeah, I can kind of see.
Drawing a stick person.
I can see that perspective.
But when I'm talking about
feel
bros,
like it's false
different.
perspective.
It is.
to a point, a little bit,
Yeah.
not always, a little bit. But I don't know. I haven't been through it. But I think talking about anything is good.
Yeah, I think what I was getting at is like, instead of talking to a therapist, if you have a good therapist, and talk to them, but you need to find people that you trust that you can talk to about anything, right?
Yeah.
And like, I trust you guys, so I'm very open with you guys and everything else. Like,
Well,
you
we've cleared
ask
it with
me
you too when we ask you
whatever you
questions.
want.
You're like, you can ask me.
Yeah, yeah, like
We don't just come
Yeah.
guns blazing at you.
Tell us about the time, that
Yeah.
thing. But I love when you'll be like, oh, one time, like when we're just in conversation, I reminded you of a story.
yeah,
And I'll be like, and I'm getting so into them. I'm like, oh, then like you did what? Wait, what?
Huh?
Pause.
Like
Yeah.
to me, and I am, I want to get off. I like where this is going because when we talk, you just talk about like shit you did kind of like in the off time when you're in Afghanistan.
yeah. Those are always the fun stories.
It's like, but in my head, not knowing, I'm like, how much downtime or is there downtime? Or like, are you always paranoid of being attacked over there? Like,
No, I mean you can't be. Otherwise, for a whole year in a foreign country, if you're just constantly just like,
What was that?
were you that way
fuck,
at
dude,
first?
shit, fuck. Oh yeah, 100%.
How long did it take
Yeah.
for you to like cool off?
Weeks, probably months actually. Yeah.
Do you mind talking about some of that?
No, it's fine. Like when I got to Afghanistan, I went to this little fob. It's called Fob Kalagoosh. It's very small, but we flew in a Black Hawk, landed in the middle of the night. We never dropped off and picked up people during the daytime because don't want to get shot out of the sky, So came in at night and landed, fucking got on the pad and all that stuff. And I remember looking around when I first got there, and I'm 19 years old. I'm still a fucking kid.
That is crazy.
And,
bizarre,
and the fucking helicopter takes off. We all got our shit on our backs. Like everything that we are going to use for the next year is on your back or on your chest. It's all on you. And so you're just like fucking walking around with all this shit, feeling like Santa Claus. And
How big were you when you were 19?
I was probably walking around like probably like just a touch over 200.
Oh,
Yeah,
you were small for
probably
you.
210. Yeah. I didn't start getting big until Kuwait, but
Getting that Kuwait stack.
dude, there's nothing to do in Kuwait. Like all those stories are just silly stories, but but
Lift
yeah.
weights.
So I was young. I wrestled and stuff throughout high school. I wrestled at 189. So
Skinny. You were just skinny
yeah.
for your size.
Yeah. So I look at pictures too. I'm like, God dang, what a twig, dude. What a little bitch. But
A loser.
yeah.
Kick that
So
guy's ass.
you get there, you're 19.
Yeah. I was the youngest
And
kid.
you can't drink beer at 19.
No, I got home from Afghanistan.
Unless you're
I
in
couldn't drink.
Wisconsin with your old man.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you can still get kicked out of the bar.
Yeah.
I did. But
Oh, yeah, there you go. But yeah, no, I just when we landed, bird takes off. I'm looking around, and the way this fob was set up is just like mountains all around you. So I'm just like looking around, like, oh my god, there's fucking Taliban up there just watching me. They're about to fucking blow my ass up, dude. They're already got 0 time. It's just like shit going through your mind you don't really understand. And then the next day you wake up and kind of go through it and just learning everything that's happening and stuff. And when we got there, it was October, so it was like towards the tail end of towards the tail end of fighting season. So there's still a little bit of fighting going on, but it's definitely tapering
What do you mean?
off.
Why fighting season, not fighting season?
Well, it gets cold there. And
Okay.
the Taliban don't have fucking, nice snivel gear like we do. So they rocking robes and flip flops, dude. They're not going to run around 2 feet of snow and try fighting fucking Americans, So like, we have heated trucks.
Yeah.
So it's like, they're not going to do it, So just naturally every year, in Afghanistan and stuff, it just tapered down during the winter. We still got in firefights and shit, but it wasn't nothing. Like it was a good lead up because it's towards the tail end of fighting season. So I think I got in the country, I think it was October 17th, and my first firefight was Halloween. So it was like, it didn't take that long to get in a fight.
Can you talk about
Yeah.
tell me to shut the fuck up at any time. But
No, you're good.
So you get there, you're there fucking 12 days.
Yeah, 12 days.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're in a firefight. So, okay, when you land, you're there for, all right, day 7, are you like pretty chill? Or like, what do you think?
Well,
Day 7.
I was still sprucing up my bunk. We had to build bunk beds in that bitch, dude. So I'm like, we're building bunk beds, having a good time, like stepbrother's like, oh, don't want to fall, whatever. It's like we
Gotta do karate.
Trying to make light of the
yeah,
situation.
basically, it's like I was there with like probably the best group of dudes that you could ever ask for. Like everyone was the shit. Like we all knew our jobs, we knew what we needed to do and all that stuff. So we would relax a little bit, but you are in the back of your head, you're always constantly thinking like, okay, but if something does happen, it's like, what am I going to do? Like you always have your weapon on you. You're always ready to fight in case you have to and everything else. Like even when you're back at base and everything else. So it's like, you have your guards and everything else and guard shacks and guard duty guys out there. But base attacks are usually fucking just a mess. There's a discombobulated mess. So like,
Does that happen often, base attacks?
Not really, but sometimes they get a wild hair up their ass and be like, we're going to shoot some rockets in there because we're bored. So they,
do they not attack them often because they just know they're going to get fucked up?
yeah, for sure. Yeah, they know, but they just sit there and watch. They wait for us to leave and then they see where we're going. They're like, breaker 19, Americans are leaving the base. They're heading down MSR, fucking whatever the fuck. However Hajis talk, I can't remember what they say.
Hajis.
So it's like whatever they say on their
Didn't
two-way
think that.
radios. But
Yeah.
so they would always they'd usually wait to attack us outside. But when we're in our trucks or whatnot, or just dismounted from our trucks. But But yeah, like that Halloween firefight, we were in our trucks. We left. We didn't barely get off the base like very far. I think they were just testing us because they see the helicopters come in and drop people off and leave, right? So they knew that there was a new unit in. And that's what the old unit that we were replacing told us too. Like, yeah, you'll probably get in some firefights and stuff, but they're just going to be testing the water, see how you guys react and all that stuff. So it's like, so when we got attacked on Halloween, we're like, lay the dick down. Let them know we're not fucking around, you know?
Let them know right off the rip.
Yeah. So we
So
had
what happened?
dudes.
How'd you like, oh, we're in a firefight now? How's that happen?
Well, I was a driver for a lot. Whenever we were mounted, I was always the driver for my squad leader and stuff. We were just driving, and then fucking it's like, and you're like, well, what the
You're
fuck?
shot at.
Yeah, we're hearing like, gunshots from a distance and like shit hitting other trucks. Like, what the fuck? It sounded like hail, like hitting your truck. Like, what the fuck, dude? This is crazy. Like, oh, we're getting shot at. Like, oh shit. And then the gunner up top swings around, just fucking 50 calories.
Just giving them the
rocking.
beam.
Just in the direction that it's coming from.
Yeah, and just every gun truck just swept over and started fucking lighting the mountain up. The mortar guys dismounted, jumped down, and started thumping mortars at the mountain and stuff until the shooting stopped and everyone got back in. Like, huh,
And you just take
that's
off.
a firefight, huh?
Yeah, that's a
Like,
firefight.
oh shit!
Whoa.
I sat in the driver's seat the whole time, like, huh, holy shit!
We're doing this.
I guess this is it, huh? All right, that wasn't too bad, pretty easy. But
Wow.
yeah. So, but then as the deployment goes on, whatever else, and we didn't spend a whole lot of time mounted because we're reconnaissance platoon, so we were constantly going out and heading out in the mountains and setting up observation points or OPs and overwatching. We'd have like a unit moving through a valley. We'd overwatch them and see if they get hit. Then we would have snipers and shit strategically strewn throughout the mountainside. And we see where they get hit. If they got hit, then we'd, fire back. A lot of times it would just be the snipers firing back, trying to pick out targets and stuff. But
Yeah.
we did a lot of those missions and, going out there before we'd go out there, days or, weeks before a larger element would move through a certain area, and we just watch and see, collect data, send it back to a battalion and be like, yeah, there's about this many people here. And, this many people carrying AKs, this many, people fucking doing this and that. And then we see at least one RPG, all sorts of shit, just trying to get an idea, send it back to battalion, let them disseminate the information how they will, if they want to continue on, or if they just want us to clear the valley, or if they want us just to leave, whatever. But a lot of the times we would set up our own missions too and do our own thing. Like there's this one valley is Nuralam Valley, I think is called. We would go in there all the time and fucking right with that valley is like towards the beginning part of, so winter came and went, we would go in there and we would drive in, and right when we hit that valley, we'd start getting lit up. We're like, oh shit, there's some bad guys in this valley. And it was a valley that the previous unit told us, like, don't go in there. So we just made it our mission, like our own platoon mission, like, we're going to clear that fucking valley before the deployment's over. So we would go there quite a bit and, do our thing and do different shit and move through and try clearing out the valley. So, yeah, it was actually that valley I almost got my dick blown out by a PKM.
What's a PKM?
Well, it's just a Russian machine gun. It shoots like 7.62. It's like probably the equivalent of our like 240 Bravo is just a belt-fed machine gun, right? That you can carry around and stuff. Yeah. Now we're moving on to some terraces and fucking seen bullets hitting the fucking. We jumped up on this terrace and I was running across. So the fields in Afghanistan, it's all mountainous, right? So they have to level shit out, and then they build up like landscaping to make it level so it can hold moisture. And they grow their poppies and whatever else in those terraces. But those terraces also made really good cover because it's earth. Yeah. But you'd also have to move, so we'd have to jump up on these terraces would come up to like my belly button. So they're pretty tall. So you have 40 pounds of shit in your pack, and you got 40 pounds of armor and bullets on your pack.
But you're getting shot at.
And you're getting shot at, and we're like, okay, shit, we got to move. So fucking third squad move, and we're like, okay, jump up on the terrace and running, trying to get to the next terrace, and it's probably 100 yards of open field per terrace.
Oh,
so
God. You're going to break 100 yards?
Yeah. Just sprinting, just hauling ass, and you can't stop. You fucking stop, then it's like, okay, now you're a non-moving target.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm running and I'm looking at the ground a little bit, looking up, looking at the ground. You're hearing shots like pretty close. I'm looking at the ground. I see him fucking hitting the ground like right in front of me, just
shit,
walking it up. And I remember seeing a round hit like right between my legs. I'm like, oh fuck, and I like kind of fell over and did a combat roll, jumped back up. I'm like, holy shit, about fucking took my dick off, dude. And I made it the next terrorist. I'm like, shit, all right, well, that was fucking wild. So we had to keep going and, you know, cleared that building and moved on and everything else.
That's insane, dude.
Holy
I
shit.
couldn't even imagine that.
All right. There's a story I know, and I love hearing the story, but I don't know if I can ask it. The long time frame firefight.
Oh, Doab?
Can we talk about that?
Yeah. I talked about it when.
I don't want to cross any boundaries with you. You're my homie.
you're good, man.
You know, so. And I just don't know
good.
what you can talk about publicly.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I wasn't a fucking, you know, Navy SEAL fucking, you know, all of our shit's declassified. You know,
If the dude that killed Osama bin Laden's fucking talking about his shit, we can
he's
talk
writing
about
books, dude.
But I just don't want you to like.
What the hell?
Yeah,
I just don't know what you're comfortable, not comfortable talking about.
I appreciate you asking, but yeah. No,
You talked about. I feel like I'm asking probably what people that weren't in the military are like. Oh, tell me more. You know.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
I need to hear more of this shit.
You talked about that story. I think you know what I'm referring to by
Yep.
the way you referred to it. Can you talk about that one because that's one. That's one of the first like detailed stories from your deployment that I heard about, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh my god, for real?"
Yeah, I think someone's actually writing a book about it now too, which is kind of wild.
Oh, really?
Yeah, some guy called me like a few months ago and was like, "Bro, I was working with Justin Foote, and he's my platoon leader, and he's like, yeah, you know, I want to write a book about fucking Doab and the deployment and all that good stuff." I'm like, okay, cool. So he asked me a bunch of questions. I told him a lot about that, but I also talked about it when I had all my scout buddies in studio here.
Yep.
We talked about that quite a bit too, but we were also fucking wasted, and
Yeah,
by that
let's do that.
time it was probably rough. I didn't even listen back to that episode, dude.
I haven't
just
listened
put-
to that. That's one I have not.
I just put an intro and outro on. I'm like,
At the end, it got a
beginning,
little rough.
the beginning was fine. Then towards the end, I'm like, oh fuck. Like, I don't even know I should publish this, but
send it.
I just sent it. And like, fuck it, whatever.
fine.
dude.
Hey,
Hey,
But
you guys are partying.
yeah, we're having a good time.
You deserve it. You're American heroes, man. So
But,
yeah, talk
yeah.
about that one.
So Doab District Center is towards the tail end of our deployment. We were, and you never really check out until you're on the plane home, right? But we were all getting pretty amped up. We're like, we're about to go home. Like, we made it, boys. We're getting across the finish line pretty soon here. I want to say we're set to come back home like maybe a month or so, I guess. So what I'm getting at is the tail end of our deployment. We get called up. I think this is one of my off days, so we always did a rotating like QRF and stuff. So we'd have a squad that's on QRF, and I was off, so I was just hanging out in my B hut area and fucking probably watching porn. I don't know. So yeah,
Probably.
yeah, probably.
Nice.
But I remember my squad leader because I had switched from third squad to first squad because we had some unfortunate circumstances happen, and you know, we had some guys that had to leave country, you know, and so we changed up. We had 2 new guys that didn't know shit. Like, they came in late, and you know, they're straight from the States. So it's like, instead of putting 2 new guys in one squad, I volunteered and switched over to first squad, and that was with Rosine. Nick Rosine was my squad leader at that time, and he's probably the baddest dude I've ever met. He's the man. I'd follow that dude through the depths of hell. He's the shit. But switch over to first squad, and I remember I was sitting in my room, and he came over. He's like, "All right, Johnny, we got to go to the backyard because we had this is actually what is it, second squad's area, and they had this big courtyard backyard from their hut. They got the nice huts. It's bullshit, but they had a nice backyard area that we'd do our mission briefs and all that stuff. He's like, "Hey, you need to head to the backyard. We're doing a mission brief and all that stuff." I'm like, "Okay, fuck. All right, well, do I need to bring anything? Do I need to be ready to just get there? We'll talk about it when we get there." I'm like, "Okay." So I ran over there, got the mission brief from our platoon leader. He's like, "Hey, we're just on standby right now. Like, we don't know what we're necessarily doing." And it's all kind of foggy. It's a long time ago, but basically is like, go back, like, you know, we're possibly going to be heading into this district center that got taken over by Taliban. We don't know how many there are. We don't have a whole lot of intel. Just get ready. We don't know when we're leaving or if we're leaving. Just get your shit ready and whatever else. So we broke off, talked to a row, and I remember him telling me, because I was a grenadier, so I had a grenade launcher on my M4 and stuff, and he's like, I'm like, "What do we need to bring?" He's like, "Don't bring anything that doesn't go boom." I'm like, "Okay." So I run back to my hut, grab like all my grenades and put them in my fucking bandoliers and whatnot, and head over to first, like, the other guy's area. And I was talking to some other guys, and one of the other grenadiers, he had gotten like super fucking sick and he could barely move. So he didn't go on that mission, but he's like, "Take all my shit." I'm like, "Okay." So I had a shit ton of grenades. I think I had like 130 fucking 40 millimeter grenades on me between my pack, and I had like 2 or 3 bandoliers of fucking, because we had these cool ass belts that held our grenades, and we'd have them all in there. It's like pretty dope. So I had like 3 of them. I had 2 attached to my pack and 1 on my waist, and got all my shit ready. Ran out there and had like a couple bottles of water. That's all I could really fit in my pack after putting ammo and grenades and everything else in there. And got back to the backyard, and we're just on standby. And we weren't on standby too long. And then we went to the flight line. We talked to our battalion XO. He's a Major Bauer, and he was giving us the official mission brief. And he's telling us like, yeah, Doab District Center got taken over by Taliban. Haji Math says that there's over 300 Taliban in that area, but we don't know. Nothing's confirmed with our intel, but that's what they're saying. So like, okay, so like we're gonna go in there and see what's up. So we fly in. It's the middle of the day. I just said we don't fly during the day. Well, we flew during the day that day, and flying in, we're all fucking amped up. Like we don't really know what we're getting ourselves into. We just know that there's a shit ton of Taliban over there, and they could be there, or they could be gone, or there could be.
So let me ask
military.
You. I don't want to interrupt because you're rolling.
Very good.
When you guys are going in, are you guys like, is the attitude like, let's get these motherfuckers, or is it like, well, we're about to see what happens?
Oh no, it's
like where on the spectrum of like full aggression to chill? Where are you at?
So we're
100 being full aggression, chill being 0.
Yeah. So I would say that by this time we're all pre-seasoned, so we kind of knew our own how to get like hyped up, but not too hyped up. It's almost like going into a fight. Like you used to fight. Did you ever get like super amped up for a fight, or did you?
No, I would
like,
black out, and then I'd be like, I don't remember any of that fight. I know what you're saying. Yeah, enough to where I wasn't gonna go in and just get smacked without fucking knowing what was going on.
Right. So some guys, they get amped up. Like some guys are like, all right, let's fucking go. I've always been a lot, because I used to fight too. My first fight, I was listening to death metal. I'm like, fucking, let's go, dude. I'm gonna fuck this fucking motherfucker up. And it was too much, and I got my ass kicked. So then I started listening to like Sublime and shit. Like I need to mellow out so I can be more calculated. And that's kind of how I did every firefight, especially if we had intel like that, where it's like we're gonna get in a fight. Chances are we're gonna get in a fight. So I don't know. I guess I just got fairly quiet and started thinking about my role. It's like, okay, we're going through all the scenarios, because we had a long flight. We went from our base, because I had switched from Kalagoosh to Meterlam at this point, so we were all in Meterlam, which is a much bigger fob, and we're flying from Meterlam all the way into Nuristan province. So it's a totally different province, even, because we're in Logman. Nuristan is really popular for not having a whole lot of American troops and a lot of Taliban, so it's kind of a stronghold. And we're flying in, and it's a long flight. We're in a Chinooks, and we're just buzzing in, and plenty of time to really think about it. So I was just going through like what we're gonna be doing. Like, okay, we get off the bird. What if this is like a Black Hawk Down situation? We fly in, we get shot down. Like, holy fuck, like kind of going through every situation you can possibly imagine. And we flew in. We had Apaches with us, escorting us, and we flew in. Fucking dropped us off. Can't see shit because Chinooks, dual prop helicopters, fucking dust everywhere. And that was the other thing. For some reason with important missions, I always seem to rip my pants, and I didn't fucking wear underwear because I'd chafe so bad. So I remember jumping off the Chinook, and immediately it's like my crotch ripped out. I'm like, fuck. So like that whole time, my dick's just out.
Dick in the sand.
It was from my fucking crotch to my knee. My dick's just
out shit
in the wind.
Damn.
Like, goddamn, to getting sand-blasted. This fucking
Did you have
sucks,
combat dick the whole time?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You got to,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. But, yeah.
Especially other like, it's normally not like this.
Yeah.
I swear.
We're in war.
Yeah.
We're in war.
Yeah.
Combat dick.
It happened every time. For some reason, I always blow the crotches out, and I'm like, fuck me. This sucks, dude. But jumping off Chinook, dust in the air, fucking can't see fucking shit. We just run out and lay down because there's no cover that you can see because you can't see anything. So it's like, just get out, jump out, fucking 360 security, lay down, and the Chinooks take off, and they take the Apaches with them. So we're out there all by ourselves. And
how many of you guys?
So there's a little less than 30 in my platoon, and then we had some A&A with us. So I think it was probably like mid 40s people. Mm-hmm. And we get to the landing zone, and the dust settles, and kind of looking around like, God damn, dude, there's a lot of mountains in this motherfucker, dude. And then you look over, and we can see the district center. It's like I don't know. I can't remember how far away it is, but you could see it in the distance. We're like, okay, so we need to get there because that's the district center, but there's mountains everywhere, just surround, like close. You know, like the top of each peak of the mountain is up within shooting distance. So it's like very close. We're like, God dang, this is fucking sucks. Like this is the worst
And you know they're up
situation.
there.
Yeah.
Worst situation you can be in.
Yeah, you can't see anyone yet because they're all hiding, right? So we're just sitting there and like, okay, well, fuck. I remember, and then the dust settled, and there's some rocks out there in the landing zone area. So we just run over, get behind some rocks, and we're scanning. And the last thing we were told is like, you know, if you see someone out there, it's like we're verified that there should be 0 civilians, so they're all like, just assume they're all bad guys. Obviously, do your best to get PID, but at the same time, like you see a person out there and they're acting suspicious.
Crank them.
There's no good guys out here,
Right.
or there shouldn't be. So I remember I was sitting behind this rock and I was with my squad leader, and I remember looking through and scanning and I remember seeing a guy out there, and I'm like, hey, bro, there's a guy out there. He's like, well, fucking
Crank him.
shoot him. I'm like, okay. So I remember seeing, he had an AK-47 slung over his back, and I fucking take my shot, and he goes, I don't know if he ran off or fell over, but I lost him. I looked down my rifle. I'm like, God damn it. I never had a malfunction once during the deployment. I look down, I have a malfunction. I'm like, fuck. So I work through the malfunction in my M4
After the first shot.
because I went to shoot again and I wouldn't go. So I looked down, I'm like, fuck. Like, what the fuck? You gotta be fucking kidding me. So I rack it, I work through the malfunction, and that's just when all hell broke loose, and we're getting mortared and fucking rocketed,
shit.
and it is just went like the whole fucking LZ just exploded. It is nuts. So I basically just abandoned my M4 and just started cranking fucking grenades everywhere. Because by that time we're looking around. After the first few explosions pop off, you're looking around, and we just seen dudes fucking
Coming out of
cresting the
woodwork.
fucking mountains, coming down at us. Like, oh fuck, oh, there's a lot of people here. Like, I don't know, I can't count, but there's a lot of fucking people here. So we're fucking completely surrounded by, 300 plus Taliban, and there's 40 of us in a fucking bowl on an LZ.
You're
Just
down
getting,
low.
they have the upper hand. They have the elevation, and they have the high ground. You ever seen Star Wars when fucking god dang Anakin gets chopped up? It's like, I have the high ground, Anakin, just give up. It's like, fuck, I'm Anakin right now. Shit. It's like we're surrounded, and fucking dudes are pouring over the mountains. We're like, fuck, dude. So we just start doing the best we can, just find targets and engaging and doing the best we can. And then I guess, I don't know, I can't remember how long. It felt like for fucking ever that we were on the bottom of that LZ, and just firing away, just trying not to get overran, because it was getting very, very close. Like, they were getting down there, and
They're coming down to you.
yeah, like they're all maneuvering on us and stuff, and we're just death blossom, like just shooting at all around us. So we're holding our ground.
How far?
And doing
Like
the best.
when you took that first shot before it all started, how far?
He was probably like 400-ish yards or
Close.
so. Yeah. But I mean, I've
Too
shot
close.
and I was shooting my M4 out to 600 yards with an ACOG, which I knew all my holes in my ACOG and stuff like that. So, I'm a pretty competent shooter.
You cranked that,
and-
dude. That's what set it
yeah.
off.
Yeah, I probably. It's
Did
like,
you're the first one to take a shot there?
yeah. Yeah. And then
Whoa.
all hell broke loose, and it's fucking nuts.
So when you feel like, all right, you said they're pouring over and you guys are just kind of like, you guys are on defense hard.
Yeah.
How much time from the first shot to where you're like, could stop and think?
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of thinking.
You're just reacting.
You're just reacting. You're acting in contact. We do our battle drills the whole time. We at this time, like, thank God we're seasoned. If this would have happened at the beginning of the deployment, we probably would have been dead. But we've all had, I don't know, hundreds, probably hundreds of firefights before this. So
Wow.
we were pretty well seasoned going in there.
Hundreds?
Yeah. Between, like, if you're counting like all the small ones too.
Yeah,
like,
of course,
everything. Yeah, probably.
Wow.
We're there for about a year.
And have had hundreds of engagements and firefights.
Yeah, I mean, there'd be times where we'd leave the wire and we'd get in, a couple of firefights. So it's like,
Yeah, so that's just what it is.
yeah, I mean, it could have been the same. It could have been the same people, But
still, it's an engagement.
There's a break.
God.
We moved and we get, shot at again. So it's like, cut that as two, But
So-
I'd say probably hundreds. I mean, it's a long time ago, but a lot of fucking firefights. Like during
It's more than you hear
fighting
about.
season.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we were there in 2010, 2011, and it was during the big push back in Afghanistan. So the Taliban had a lot of time because we kind of abandoned Afghanistan for quite a while.
Yeah.
And focused on Iraq. And the Taliban had a lot of time to like kind of recover and refigure things out and stuff like that. So this is a big push back in Afghanistan. We were going in the northeast part of Afghanistan where the majority of the bad guys are at. And well season, we're fighting our asses off. And I remember one time my buddy Nick Williams, he's a sniper, but on this mission he took a saw, like an M249 saw, which is just a belt-fed machine gun.
That's the noise that you're familiar with from the videos where it's like, brah. Is that, or what's that?
Are you talking about the plane?
No, maybe I'm talking about maybe I'm fucked up on that.
Well, it's a machine, it's not like a bra, it's more like a.
Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So 249 saw, it shoots a little bit faster than like a 240 Bravo, but it's because it shoots 5.56 rather than 7.62. But he's sitting down there fucking behind. He's a big dude like me, right? And he's laying behind this rock that probably couldn't have been much bigger than this fucking deer head, right? He's hiding behind this rock, fucking laying the dick down. I look over at him. I remember seeing a fucking mortar like land like right next to him. I'm like, oh fuck, there goes Nick. He's gone. Like, he's just fucking died right before my eyes. And I'm like watching him, making sure like if there's movement, if there's not movement, if I had to drag him to where I'm at or wherever else, then like the dust kind of settled. I remember seeing him like hit himself in the head, like wiping the dust off, and he just grabs his gun and starts fucking rocking. I'm like,
No shit.
He's good. We're ready to rock.
We're rocking.
Damn, man.
He's still in the fight. You know, we're fucking still fighting, and yeah, like I said, I don't know, shit's just blowing up all over the place. I can't really emphasize that enough. Like literally the entire LZ is exploding all around us. Because they had us bracketed. We found out later they had us all bracketed in and zeroed with all the mortars and shit around the mountains and everything else. So we had mortars with us too. I forgot to add that part in, but we had a mortar team with us, and they were just, you know, direct firing their mortars with
Just raining hell.
handheld, yeah, just fucking trying to thump away with their mortars and
they got to be getting guys, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, with a mortar system, we got good out there. If you can see them, dude, you're not dialing. You know, so with a mortar system, you have your little sight, you get your fucking your coordinates and stuff, you get your data, your fire data in, you thump, and you can hit shit without seeing it, right? If you can see them, they had this little deal on their 60 millimeter mortar is like a trigger, right? So they'd put the round in, but you know, with the mortar tube, usually you throw the round in and immediately thump and goes out, right? So with this thing, it'd go down, the firing pin would be reset down into it, so they'd line it up, just eyeballing it, hit the button, and boom, shoot it off.
Oh wow! I didn't know that.
So
they're just smoking
doing
dudes
that,
left
just
and right.
fucking yeah. If you can see them, they're just basically direct firing their mortar on people. So yeah,
Holy shit! So how long did this go on for?
gosh, I can't. It's hard to remember, but I don't know, a couple of hours maybe. No, an hour. I can't even really give a good guesstimate on how long it was before we got air support, but I do remember when it came in and we seen
Air support?
Yeah.
What air support just means they got called in to basically get them from a jet.
Yeah. Well,
Airplane.
So the first people to get spun up usually are Kiowas, which are the little birds. So they're like a much smaller version of like an Apache. They don't have Hellfires, but they have like direct fire rockets they can shoot and stuff. So they got rockets and machine guns on these really small birds, and I think it's just two guys in there, a pilot and a co-pilot, and that's it. And they came flying over. I think there's a few of them. I remember seeing them fly over. It's like you guys ever watched We Were Soldiers?
Yeah.
Ever? You know what I'm talking about? You know, when the time when, you know, they're cresting the hill and there's just a bunch of fucking Vietnamese out there and they're ready to destroy this entire battalion, right? And the helicopters coming behind them and just rip them all apart. It's kind of like that. So looking over the mountains, we knew air support was coming in, looked over and seen these fucking little birds just fly over this mountain and come dipping right back down. We're like, fuck yeah, brother. Like, let's go, dude. And they just came in, immediately started fucking rocketing the sides of the mountains. We're like, fuck yes, finally some relief.
Was that a little? I was just gonna ask that. That had to be
Oh my
some
God,
relief.
dude.
Just even hearing them or seeing them.
Yeah, and then we start fighting harder. It's like, fuck yeah, now we got the upper hand.
You're pumped up.
Yeah, now we have the upper hand. Now it's America, dude. Now we're here to fucking kill you, all you motherfuckers, you know? So we're sitting down there. They come in. They're just, we tell them, you know, hey, we need help. And then they came over. They didn't I don't even think they talked to him ever again. They just came over and just started doing their things. They could see the dudes too flying around.
Yeah.
And they're trying to shoot them with RPGs, but those little birds are so fast. There's like fucking
Dodge shit.
whatever, bitch. You ain't got me. And
Excuse me, pardon me, come through.
just tearing it up. And then a little bit after them, then Apaches came in, and we're like, oh yeah, now we got big guns.
Now we're talking.
Apaches
Now
with
we
the
got
big
fucking-
helicopters.
the big attack helicopters,
Yeah.
right? And then shortly after the Apaches come in, then we get some fixed wings, and we're dropping bombs. And then at this point, once the fixed wings come in, like the F-15s and F-18s or whatever, you know, like the jets,
Fighter jets.
yeah, like they're coming in fucking close too. And
God, what some bad motherfuckers are flying them things around,
Oh,
dude. You
dude.
know how cool that would be?
they were the shit. Those pilots and the JTACs. We got 2 JTACs with us too. I forgot what them.
What's that?
fucking motherfuckers? They're can't remember what it stands for. Joint Tactical Air Controllers. So they're Air Force dudes that
On the
talk-
ground with you?
Yeah, yep. So they are like the forward observers for the Air Force.
Like send them coordinates and shit.
Yeah, yep. Like, hey, dudes over here, fucking shoot over there. Hey, dudes over there, shoot over there. Talking to the pilots, because like the helicopters, they can see everything. They have a really good field of view, so you don't really need to coach them a whole lot. But the fixed wings, they're moving so fucking fast. You have to tell them where to drop
They gotta
bombs,
know,
right?
yeah.
And so they're talking to them. They're dropping bombs, and then we finally get some relief. And then we leave the LZ and we maneuver up on the side of this mountain, because we could see that there's a animal pen up there. So we run up the mountain, fucking dying, running up there and get in this animal pen, and we all pool into this animal pen. It's the only real cover we had out there. So we pull up in this animal pen. We're firing basically cross can. We have dudes coming on our mountainside too. We're shooting up. We're shooting over. Fucking, but now we feel like we have some cover, and we're fighting back, and they're dropping bombs, and we're calling in bombs like really close, like very, very close. Like, I think we dropped a 500-pound JDAM like within 300 yards of us.
Ooh.
And that was louder than fuck. Like the JTAC told us, like, hey, when this bomb drops, fucking cover or plug your nose and open your mouth. I'm like, why? And he's like, well, because if it could have too much pressure when your eyes could like pop out of your head. So we're like, oh fuck. So we had to open our mouth and fucking plug our ears or in whatever fucking
Do one of
bombs
these?
drop. Dude, I remember seeing the bomb drop, and it was fucking doosh, it explodes. Like, holy fuck, that was a big explosion. And then rocks everywhere, and then the rocks started getting bigger and bigger. Like, oh shit, like, get down, dude.
fuck.
And they're fucking is insane, dude. We're dropping huge bombs, probably too close, but it's like, gotta fucking keep them at bay, so
Right.
Yeah.
they're hiding. We couldn't shoot through rocks, but we can drop bombs on them. So dropping bombs and doing that thing. And then towards the end of this went on for, I think it went on for, the whole firefight lasted probably 12 to 14 hours, I think, right around there.
I couldn't even
We're
fucking
fighting.
14
imagine.
hours?
Yeah,
What the fuck?
as long.
At any point, anyone come into the communications to say "nice dick"?
Yeah, no. That came afterwards,
So how do you get out of there?
So dropping bombs, fighting all day and into the night. But at night, when nightfall came, we got a resupply in, because I shot. By the time the resupply came in, a Black Hawk came in with a bunch of body bags full of ammo and grenades and everything else, right? And water. I had like 2 bottles of water. I was fucking dying. But they had some in between too. We had some lulls in the battle, so it'd be periods of like silence, and then shit would pop off again. Then it'd be a little silence, and shit would pop off again. But we got that resupply in is during a lull, and I don't know if they're reloading or refitting or reorganizing or what they were doing, but Black Hawk came in during that time to drop some supplies off, and they flew in, and then shit exploded again. They're fucking shooting at the Black Hawk, fucking riddling that thing with bullets and RPGs and trying to shoot down a helicopter, right? And I just remember seeing them like fucking these, I don't know, pogue's a bad word. It's a mean thing to say to people that aren't infantry, but these fucking dudes on these helicopters are just like freaking out, and they just shove the body bags out and fucking take off and fly out. They're like, geez, they didn't want to stick around too long, but so they drop off our shit, but now it's at the LZ, and we're like, God damn, we can't get it yet until the firefight's over. But then we won't need ammo anymore. So we did have to get down there. So during a lull in the battle, we had a few guys go down there and fucking we all just cover fired for them, and while they ran down and grabbed the body bags and pulled them back up to the animal pen. But come nightfall, once night started dropping, we had another Chinook come in, and it was fifth special forces group came in with their A&A commando dudes, and I guess they were all the way in Bagram, and they heard about the firefight, and they're like, we gotta fucking go over there and help these dudes. And so they came in at nightfall, and when SF drops on the ground, then you have like the full dick of the Army behind you. So when they got on the ground, then we had AC-130s in the air. So an AC-130 is it's a C-130 transportation, like cargo plane, but on the left wing, it's just got fucking armament on the left wing. So it just flies super high above you and just does circles.
Starts dropping shit.
Yeah, it just makes left turns up in the air.
They NASCAR it.
Yeah, it's got a 119er on there, dude. An artillery. It's got a fucking full artillery piece on there, and they're just loading that bitch up, shooting fucking 105s out of a fucking airplane, dude. It's insane.
Super high where they're not gonna touch them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You can't even see them. You go up there and you kind of maybe hear a little bit of a buzzing up there, but you can't really barely see them.
Also, it's just fucking
shit.
And
shit
the
falling
JTAC,
down.
and that's where the JTACs came in handy because we can't see them. They can't fucking see us, so they just trust our coordinates. And I remember the JTAC telling them, like, yeah, okay, so we got contact over here. And the SF dudes, when they got in, then shit started exploding again, fucking shooting all over the place. And the A&A that they brought with them started shooting at us. And I'm like, God damn it, guys. So I had fucking flung over a VF-17 panel, like, don't shoot here, shoot there, So then they adjust fire and shoot away from us. And so they get on the ground. We're covering fire for them.
How many
they
more
get
guys
to
show
us.
up?
A team of SF dudes, so 12. Yeah. I think it's
And
12-man ODA. So,
And they're just badasses.
Yeah,
that
real
come
bad.
in.
oh yeah, dude, they got beards. Like, fuck.
Yeah.
They're cool. They're cool dudes. Got beards, long hair. Fucking sleeves are all rolled up. Cool helmets. Yeah, they're
ready
fucking
to rock.
awesome. They're the best, dude. They're the dudes.
I'm surprised
It's all bizarre, man.
they don't have any of the shit that we have, like the air
No.
stuff.
They just have tenacity. It's like that's all they got. They just have people that.
So
think
if
a
we
certain way
really
and
wanted to
whatnot.
just end the war, we could just end it.
Yeah. If we didn't
But
care
it's
about
just
if we
not
didn't care about
ethical.
if we didn't care about civilian casualties, there's no way that they could stand up. But Russia tried to, and Russia didn't care about civilians, and they still failed. So back in the 80s when they invaded Afghanistan, and they pushed them back. They're man,
The Afghanistan beat
Afghans-
Russia.
yeah.
I don't know
With our-
shit about war
with our
war
help.
history.
So back in the 80s, the Mujahideen were the main fighting force in Afghanistan. They pushed the Russians back and fought them off and made them run out of Afghanistan with their tails tucked. And it was fucking Russia in the 80s, dude, So Cold War shit.
God,
And like we were helping train the Mujahideen and everything else too to fight Russia off. But basically that's why Afghanistan turned the way it did, because after Russia came and fucked up that whole country, then it's just like, well, we don't really have a government anymore because it just got destroyed. Our entire country got fucking raped by the Russians. And so the Mujahideen, they basically split. There's two main leaders. They split. One started like the Northern Alliance, and they started their own group. And then the other guy, he started the Taliban. So there's two heads of the same, I guess, army, and they were all trained. They're both trained by the U.S. and everything else. And one, he wanted to make it more of a Western style country with like rights and voting and all that stuff. And the Taliban, he's like, he's a bit more of a Muslim extremist, if you will. And he started the Taliban, and they took over more ground than the Northern Alliance did. But those are the dudes that we hooked up with during our war with Afghanistan. We hooked up with the Northern Alliance, did that whole thing, yada, yada, yada. So that's kind of that backstory. But
Did you guys get out of there then once
Yeah.
Special Forces landed and helped and all the air support and all that?
Yep. So when they came in, they brought an AC-130 with them. So at the time in Afghanistan, there was only 3 AC-130s in country. So there's 3 AC-130s in country.
It was that
I'm
bad.
pretty sure.
You got one of them.
No, we got 2 of them.
Oh, fuck. It was
So we
that
got-
bad.
Yeah. So the one was flying around, fucking lighting up the mountainside, just fucking JTACs calling coordinates. They're just exploding the whole
Man,
mountainside.
I can't believe they didn't just dip out because they know
Yeah.
their time's coming at that point, right?
Right. Well, they just think they can wear them out because they like eventually they got to run out of bombs, right? And then they were gonna. Their plan was to swarm us once the bombs stopped getting dropped, and so that plane, that AC-130 was shooting shit off. Then he had to go back to refit and refuel and whatnot and do his thing. He's checking out, but they always overlap, right? So when one plane checks out, the other one comes in before they're ready to check out. So there's a timeline where we had both AC-130s at one time.
Dropping
So
shit.
JTAC was like, hey, since I have both of you online here, I just want to turn this entire mountainside to fire. And so we had 2 AC-130s, and they literally turned that entire mountainside. Because we already cleared the mountain that we were on. Like, we weren't getting attacked from over there anymore. It's all across from us, across Canyon. And that whole fucking
Holy
mountain
shit.
turned to fire, dude. It was
Just
nuts.
lit the whole thing up.
Lit the whole thing up. It was insane.
Like daylight, you could see
Yeah,
shit.
and that was pretty much the end of it. So, and then after that happened, the 1AC-130 took off, and then we could kind of hear over the radio him talking to the AC-130 up there, and he's like, "All right, well, you know, we haven't been shot at for quite a while now, so I think we're good." He's like, "Well, I'm still seeing some heat signatures down there. I might as well just take care of them quick." And I'm like, "Okay." So he just started engaging heat signatures on his own. Because once nightfall comes, you know, it's like they have thermal imaging up in the plane and stuff,
Yeah.
and they're just fucking
Easy.
I don't know if they're already dead or what, but they're like there's still heat, so let's just keep shooting.
Now they're more dead.
Yeah, right.
Better be safe
So-
than sorry.
Wow.
Yeah, and then we were able to move and take the district center.
Holy shit, bro.
I couldn't even fucking imagine, dude.
The underwhelming respect that the general population has, and then I think I'm included in that for veterans and especially combat veterans.
Yeah.
It's underwhelming. Like you can never do enough when you hear this type of shit. And a lot of stuff gets done, and it'll never do justice for what, like, dude, I can't imagine, bro. That's a story. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, no
That's
problem.
captivating, man.
Yeah, it's got a little long-winded, but
That's okay. I think
You
it's
A lot to unpack.
You know what I think it
You're
does,
badass.
Jacob? I think it's a story that is intense. It's stuff that doesn't get told on WCB a lot, so it's different, right? Especially in the off season of bow hunting, right? 'Cause
Right.
Once fall falls, we just talk about bow hunting. I think it gives a great introduction for who you are, what you've been through, for the foundation of Victory Drive, and why we
100%.
have you hosting Victory Drive. Because you showed up to a trade show in Nebraska to just meet
Just
us,
randomly.
and it turned
Yeah.
into you becoming one of our best friends. To turn into, dude, you want to do a firearm podcast for us? And
Showed up and never left.
yeah, I know. It was wild, dude. I still talk about that to this day. You know, it's like, how fucking crazy was that? Like, we just decided to go to Nebraska on a whim. Like, we were just bored one weekend. I'm like, want to go to a fucking Nebraska? She's like, what is in Nebraska? I'm like, deer show. She's like, okay, what is that? Like, what is there to do there? I'm like, oh, you walk around, look at deer, and talk to some people and whatever. And she's like, is there like someone specifically that you want to talk to or something? Like, well, WCB is going to be there, and so it's like Whitetail Adrenaline. And she's like, oh, okay, well, yeah, sure, we're not doing anything. Cool. So we fucking drive to Nebraska, and and that's history. It's like, so I
crazy.
stopped in, talked to you guys, and fucking we all
Like, hey,
headed
you
off.
want to come drink beer with us?
Yeah, like,
Yeah, I do. Actually.
Yeah. So
yeah. I can't remember who it was. It was probably sounds like something Doug would say, but it's like, well, we're stuck in this booth, so why don't you go find a bar? And we'll meet up with you. I'm like, okay, sounds good. So we
did.
sit around
We
there,
didn't
we
know where
scouted
to
out
go.
and fucking find a bar, and like, yeah, this is where we're at. And then everyone showed up. I'm like,
I remember
fucking
Ashley.
sweet,
It was
dude.
COVID time, and Ashley had that bottom mouth cover.
Oh, yeah.
And then Scotty Sullivan was wearing it like a face shield,
Yeah.
like
Oh, yeah.
like glasses.
like a little visor thing or something.
I forgot they made us wear masks.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
that
Oh,
weird
yeah.
time. We had WCB
Yeah.
masks, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a weird time.
It was a weird time. They didn't make us wear masks while we're sitting down and drinking, but if you went to stand up to go to the bathroom, then you had to put your mask on. It's like,
Yeah, it was just
I don't
dumb.
think that's how it
it
works.
was the
thing was
weirdest thing ever.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you guys came and that happened, and I'm glad we were able to do had we done a full feature Victory Drive episode on WCB or
no,
no?
this is my first time as a guest
Wow.
on WCB.
So you've co-hosted a lot.
I've co-hosted, yes. This is my first time as a guest, but I mean, you guys had me in to co-host with Mark Drury as a guest. Like, that's way cooler than being a guest, dude. It's like, come on, you know, that ruled. So, yeah, no, I've been on the show before just
Yeah.
as a co-host and whatnot, but yeah, this is my first time. I guess
Full
this is
feature
my
guest.
fucking first time being a guest on a, like, well, I don't know. I guess I did one other podcast with another guy, but yeah, this is fun.
Yeah, thanks, dude.
Interesting
fun.
being asked questions and stuff instead of being the one asking questions
Yeah.
and shit.
Yeah.
You know, it's like
Yeah.
it's different.
Tails of
but,
Dream.
Well, I
yeah.
will say
Talk a lot more.
we're glad to have you part of the WCB family.
Yep.
We're very proud of what you're doing.
Thanks, man.
We're very
Appreciate
proud
that.
of Victory Drive being a part. I do think Victory Drive will, in time, be the largest show underneath the WCB network, even surpassing us. I do feel that way.
You just said that. Now it's recorded.
No, I do feel that way because
Knock on wood.
bow hunting is a smaller niche than firearms,
Yep.
right? With bow hunting, you box yourself out. Just like there's Pope and Young, but Boone and Crockett's bigger. You know, it's like, or, you know, firearms are just, there's more people into it. Guns are cool. They're the Second Amendment thing, whether you're into pistols. Guys that are only into pistols aren't tuning into WCB.
Right. Yeah.
You know, so
Yep.
you have the culture, your experience.
And I also don't know if there's any other firearms podcasts really out there. I've tried finding them before to like just listen to, and even before Victory Drive. And it's like, it's just some firearms podcasts I listen to. I'm like, they're a bunch of fucking dweebs, dude.
Yeah.
What the fuck is this?
Yeah. They're just
This-
nerds
this
that found
sucks.
guns. Yeah.
Yeah.
You say it, I believe you.
Yeah. But I think what it does is, you know, we asked you those questions for you to bring up those stories. You didn't bring up those stories on your own, and that's the way it should be. And that's
100%.
You know, gives a glimpse of like why we asked you to, hey, be a part of our family. We believe in you, and you've been putting out the weekly episodes, and you've been going. You hosted a Victory Drive Bear Camp in Wyoming with Trey and Franco,
Yeah.
and then you went from there and did the effort and went right to the Loophole like tactical week or whatever whatever it's called. But it's a lot of it, even though it's all fun stuff, it takes effort to take the time to do it. Even though there's a 1,000 people, 1,000,000 people, whatever it is, that want to go to a bear camp and then the week after go to the Loophole range class and then put the work in to do this every week and do the research every week, the tireless effort that people don't really realize you are doing it. And it's nice to know that like you've committed to it, because with WCB, if you're a show on our network, if you're whatever you call out that you are, if you're a weekly show, you don't miss a fucking week.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. Get responsible. That's the thing. It's like everyone's getting treated like big boys. We have to abide by big boy rules. It's like you gotta be responsible and gotta put it out there. And it doesn't seem like a lot, like, oh, okay, one fucking episode a week. All right, yeah, fucking Cry Me a River, not that hard. Yeah, dude, there's a lot of shit. Like trying to find guests, trying to figure, like, do research on the guests so I don't sound like a complete fucking retard when I'm sitting there across from someone trying to ask them questions. I'm like, fuck, dude. Like, there's a lot of shit that goes into it. Then you decide, like, start getting kind of good at that. I'm like, well, maybe I can do it too. And then I'm starting to do the solo series. I'm like, dude, yeah, it's like my limit with working a full-time job, but I wouldn't have it any other way. And I'm not bitching by any means. I am in a position that a shit ton of other people would love to be in, right? But I don't think that the average listener really realizes how much work goes into creating a weekly podcast show.
Unseen work.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to grab your phone. I gotta do some remote stuff. Like we've done one in the truck, and you can do those on the fly. But if you do that constantly as your show, it sucks.
It sucks.
Right.
Yeah.
True.
Those remote podcasts are fun every once in a while, but it's not. If that's if your podcast is just like, I'm going to put out a low quality episode with minimal effort, it's like, yeah, you can do that. No problem. That's super easy. But if you
It's
want to
okay
have
one every once in a while.
but if you want to have a good, like a decent sounding podcast, then it does take a lot of work. You have to get decent equipment, put a lot of time into it. So
Yeah.
and I'm definitely, like I said, I'm not bitching. It's just, there is a lot of stuff.
You only have
and it's
70.
awesome,
I want to
dude.
say, I don't mean only 77 episodes is a lot, but you're growing. You're a year over year in, so it's all good. You're killing it. We're proud of you.
Yep.
You want to
appreciate
drop?
it,
You want
guys.
to drop
Really
the end of
do.
this episode with a big announcement? Can we make this big announcement?
Oh,
I thought that's what I was hitting to at the beginning.
I see
You're
what
like,
you're
yeah.
saying.
We can wait.
Tell
We can
someone
wait.
else.
We can wait.
We'll have to wait. I'll have to do the big announcement a little bit later.
That's okay.
Yeah, because nothing's like signed
Yep,
yet,
that's
but
fine. That's fine.
Cool.
Okay.
Little
All right.
teaser.
Yeah, that's right.
Little
Teaser.
teaser.
There's big
Yeah,
shit
tease.
coming.
There's big
There's some
shit
really
coming.
big shit coming.
Yeah.
We'll say that. There's some really big shit coming from Victory Drive, and also just in my personal life and stuff that's going to really tie in really well with Victory Drive. And
It will
work
change
class.
things.
It will.
Yeah.
It will change what Victory Drive is.
Yeah.
Big time.
Drastically.
for good
Big time.
for good, but it'll definitely
Yeah, for sure.
be a big change.
Yeah.
So, but it's cool. It's one of those things. It's like if you're not changing, you're not growing. If you're staying the same, then you're staying the same.
Right.
It's like you're not.
High risk,
going
high
anywhere with
reward,
that.
baby.
Yeah, that's right.
Jacob, where can people find Victory Drive podcast, and when do you launch new episodes?
Oh yes. So release new episode. So the interview style, I guess, podcast,
Regular series.
regular series. There we go. I don't like calling them interviews either. Conversation, whatever. The the regular series drops Wednesdays at 5 a.m. and then the solo stuff, it's called Single Shot Series. And I actually got that from I can't remember his name for life, man. I'm a fucking dumbass. Sorry, buddy. But I actually put it out there like, I don't know what I'm going to call this thing. And some guy wrote, he's like, hey, you should call it a Single Shot Series since it's like just you.
Just you, yeah.
I'm like, that's badass.
That's
I like
brilliant.
that.
Perfect name.
So
Why didn't I think of that?
Yeah, I know. Because I'm stupid. That's why. You know, it's like,
It takes some time to get to my brain.
but Single Shot comes out every Friday at 5 a.m. So you can find it on, Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, whatever. Anywhere you go to find podcasts. If you're listening to this right now, it's going to be on the same platform. And like Instagram, it's Victory Drive Pod on Instagram. Meta is trying to keep us down. We got to keep the good fight going, It's like
Especially gun related.
yeah,
Right.
they really don't like gun stuff. Like hunting stuff and stuff gets censored quite a bit or shot down, here and there and whatnot. But it's like literally I got sent a list like all like this stuff is out of our regs, I guess.
Yeah.
It's every post.
Yeah.
Every fucking post I put out there, I'm like, well, I can't fucking go and edit and delete all these. Like, that's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
Well,
So
I
just
will ask
take the hit.
on your
Fuck it.
behalf. If you listen on Apple, please write a review on Victory Drive. Give a 5-star rating. Write a review, positive review. If you listen on Spotify, there's the Q&A on there. What did you think of this episode?
Oh, yeah.
You can go in there
it out.
and put something in there. We see all those as producers underneath WCB. Appreciate the support on Victory Drive. Please go there, help the show grow, especially hearing some of what this backstory is fucking badass, and kill it there. And dude, we're proud of you.
I appreciate
Proud of
it.
you,
I really
buddy.
do appreciate all that, guys. I appreciate all the support that you guys have shown me and believe in me being a fucking nobody.
Go
before
get
and
your
everything else.
Bow Hunting is for Felons t-shirt
Yeah,
from
I was
Victory Drive.
Yeah,
We got them.
Yeah.
We're gonna have them at the shoot this weekend. It's probably by now, but
last
hey,
weekend. Most popular shirt this trade show season was the
100%.
Victory Drive Bow Hunting is for Felons shirt.
There was
loved
people
it.
coming. They're like, I had to come just to this show to get this T-shirt.
Yeah.
It was badass.
That's awesome.
Bucky, what do you got?
solid.
What do you think?
Just listen to this story, dude. I'm super proud to have you as a buddy.
Mm-hmm.
And you think about like how far working class is reaching and then what this is reaching and the commitment and what you've put your life on the line for. How many percentage of hunters are voting? It's like 10, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
probably.
like remember
Maybe
that
less.
November 4th when you think about Jacob over here putting his ass on the line for us. Make sure you're voting November.
Yeah, I will be.
I appreciate it, man.
I don't want
appreciate
no
it.
poopy pants bitch as my president. I want faggots and grabbing pussies. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's right, dude. Come
I
on
don't-
now.
No faggots in the office right there. We're not doing that shit.
It is.
Dude, here's the thing. Never mind. I'm not
Here we
gonna
go.
get into it.
Here we
Doug,
go.
what do you
Do you need
got?
your sunglasses? Do you need your sunglasses?
I'll say it. Fuck it.
I will
Wait,
say,
You know what?
I got you. Wait,
Here's
time out.
yeah. Oh,
Thank you, Doug.
there we go.
Thank you, loophole.
Can't see me.
The last thing I want is a bunch of fucking fags over there fighting a firefight for our country. How far would we got if all them dudes would have just been gayer than hell? Limp wrist bitches over there trying to fight off Taliban. How far would we have made it? We wouldn't.
Yeah.
Masculinity is what saves the country, and that's what breeds badass children in this country, and we need that, right, Doug? We need mustaches, we need hard dicks, and we need bad motherfuckers in the game like Jacob Johnson.
Yeah, brother.
Big hard dicks now.
Hey, that makes the world go round.
Yeah,
but
dude.
you know what
Harder
makes America
dicks.
go round? Hard dicks, because no other country's got it. That's why
Yeah.
Europe sucks.
Well, yeah, that's true.
I don't
there
know
are a
if
bunch
they
of
suck.
soft
I've-
dicks out there.
I've never been there, but I would
Europe?
imagine.
Ah, fuck, dude. They're all gay for sure. Yeah, Europeans.
When's the last
gay as
dude?
fuck.
When's the last time you were at a bar and a dude from France tried to fist fight you?
Yeah,
Exhibit A.
I don't know.
Exhibit A.
Pussies.
Exhibit A.
Just say I like crepes. I like tempeh.
French Canadians are
Little thin
different. George
pancakes.
St. Pierre is pretty badass.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But,
but still,
he's
like,
an
come
exception.
on.
He's Canadian.
Yeah, he's more Canadian than he is French.
Okay, bad example. All right,
Yeah.
move on. Doug, what do you
Yeah.
got?
I'm glad you came to Nebraska that one time.
Just
Glad to
jokes,
call
guys.
you a friend.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you for your
my
service,
knees
buddy.
sweating.
Yeah, we're all sweating.
Yeah. For some reason, my knees always sweat. It's weird.
No, kind of like everyone else, man. I'm glad you're part of the crew and part of the family now. So, thank you.
Guys are making me fucking cry, man. Shit.
Don't do it.
I appreciate it. I really do. Like I said, I appreciate you guys. Appreciate everyone listening. 'Cause it's like this has been amazing support, and I really do, really do. I can't say enough. Appreciate all you guys. So
Let's keep it rolling. Just to start.
yeah, dude.
One more thing. Did you read the veteran shout out?
No.
Should we end with that?
Oh yeah, I was gonna have you.
Should we end with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll read this veteran shout out.
Oh, you got the music.
Well, hold on.
Okay. Oh my God, are you serious?
What?
This is Dustin Smith? Your name, Dustin Smith. All right. That's how it goes in, right? Your name. That's the veteran?
No, the veteran is the veteran name.
Oh, Dustin Smith put this in?
Yeah.
Oh, I just had him on my podcast. He's the shit. Yeah, Dustin Smith
did not know
is the
that.
fucking man.
So that was
I
totally.
just chose one.
Yeah. So, okay, real quick side story about Dustin Smith. He actually was in the unit that replaced me in Afghanistan.
Whoa.
Yeah, and he's a sniper. He's the
Crazy.
he's the man.
Dude, what a small
really good dude.
fucking world.
It's
Oh, that's weird.
Really random and weird. Anyways, veteran name is Wes Para, Army National Guard. Additional info, comments, more, better, not required. Okay. 1/179, Oklahoma Recon Platoon. The guys that replaced us, by the way. Fucking, yeah. Sniper team leader. Wes and I served together in RC East, Afghanistan back in 2011. We were actually the unit that replaced your victory drive boy, Jacob, in Lockman Province.
That's fucking
Yeah,
crazy.
you didn't fucking proofread this?
I did not proofread
Holy
that.
shit.
What are the odds
John,
of that?
take the comments. Yeah,
take the star.
You're totally
This
get the
feels
star.
set up. Good job, Doug.
It's really not. Doug has no
Yeah.
idea.
I just picked one.
That's hilarious. Wes and I both ran numerous sniper missions together. It was good for me because his big ass could carry most of the Barrett 50 cal up and down the mountains. Ever since we returned home, he has came to my place in Arkansas to hunt each fall. It normally starts out as an archery hunt, but that lasts about a day, and then whatever firearm is legal gets busted out. He's good to wait till the last freaking minute to punch his buck tag almost every year. That motherfucker works harder than anyone I know and is one of the most humble guys around. Cheers to steak and doughs, blasting 2-year-old 8 points, and slamming some whiskey.
God, that sounds like
yeah.
a good time.
Damn.
God
damn.
dang.
America.
Good job, Doug.
Hey, Wes Para.
Cheers to West.
Cheers to Wes Para.
I'm out of
And
drinks,
Dustin
but I'll
Smith.
cheers an
Yeah,
empty
me
solo.
too.
Cheers.
Yeah, it was phantom
Thanks,
beer.
guys. Thanks, Bucky, for being a co-host on this.
Hey, this is my first time. It was awesome.
Proud to have you guys apart.
It's a size XL.
You know what to do.
Go shoot your bow.
or your gun.
Or your gun. Okay.
Tune into
You're
Victory
waiting
Trip.
for me to do
Don't be a
something.
felon.
What the
Yeah.
hell?
Later.